What's good, everybody? It's it's the Masked Man here. It was good. So this is gonna be the part 4 of What If Asta had ice magic. I think I'm doing pretty good so far, in the whole What If series so far. I've been making a shit ton of videos. I made like 7 videos in like the past 2 days. I've been making a lot of them. I've just been sitting here playing some games and something. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make a shit ton of videos. So I was like, yeah, cool. So this should be part 4. So basically, it's the midnight, whatever you call it, the midnight sun shit. This is the part where, the kids start getting like kidnapped and stuff like that. So yeah. So yeah, so basically we do like a recap real quick. Asta has found his family. He has 2 grandparents, coincidentally named Elsa and Jack. Their last name are Frost. So yeah, he's part of the Frost family. But it's just that's not even a real family. I'm just making it up. They're part of the royal family. They're part of like the big royal families, like the Vermilions and like the Silvas and stuff like that, right? So they're part of that type of big royal families and stuff like that. So, I mean, it does make sense. You got water, fire, and then I don't remember really the rest of them. So might as well add ice to it, right? So, yeah. So Asta, his grandparents were getting manipulated for a long time because all their children have died. Asta's mother was the first one to die, and that's the whole backstory of her. Is a spoiler and stuff, but we'll get to that later when it gets to the time and crap like that. Next would be, and then Asta's Jack and Elsa's 2 sons, of course, died as well during about a year ago in the story and stuff from the Midnight Sun before. But they didn't know about it yet. But they found them dead and stuff like that. So basically, they were mourning for their children and stuff. And So basically, they were mourning for it, not paying attention that we're getting manipulated by a mage that use mind manipulation. So they haven't been getting money. Like their business hasn't been giving them money for some reason. They were really weird. They were really like, what the hell was up with this? But they didn't know they're getting manipulated. And the bodyguard that they supposedly hired actually is the guy manipulating them, and with his magic, of course. And he's been taking all their money. So they found that out. Wizard King already knew about it, but he was waiting until a real serious, more serious reason. Of course, he was going to do something about it in like a week or so, but they found Asta had a pendant of the crest of the Frost family, and they did a blood test with both the grandparents as well as they had some blood from the mother, because this is like a little thing that Julius made sure it happens just in case this stuff would ever happen, right? They would always they would take the blood of either all the new children of the big royal families and just keep it just in case if they would go missing and there's a kid or some relative of that person in the future would show up. They would have the blood to test it, right, and test if they're related. So they did that, and Asta turned positive, and it was tested that he actually is the new part of the Frost family. Of course, he is now known to be the next heir of the Frost family because there's nobody else besides him and his 2 grandparents now. So yeah, all that happened, went down. So now it's of course basically now we'll get into it. So basically, Asta was really he's been really happy knowing that he has his family, that he has grandparents and stuff like that. but he's still kind of sad that he couldn't meet his mom, and well, he has no idea who his father is, like at all. He has no idea who his father is. So with Ost, he was basically just he was training outside as Finral, of course, came and was like, "What's good?" He goes like, "You're coming with me." Ost, he goes, "You're coming with me, Asta." Ost is like, "Why?" Guess we're gonna go to a blind date thingy, an open dating place, whatever it's called again. As Asta goes, "But I don't want to." He goes, "I'm making." Asta goes, "Why?" As basically they would go to that as well, like of course Noelle would like spy on them because she wants to make sure that like Asta doesn't get in trouble with the wrong people, right? Well, that's what she says to herself, but she does like Asta, but that's not going to be like a thing, stuff like that. She likes him for a bit, but yeah, it just might not be a thing. I don't know. Yeah, it could be or could not be. Who knows? But yeah, so she was doing like acting as a waitress and stuff like that. Asta during the whole thing, he looked he was really occupied with something in his mind. So basically, during the time, Finral, they brought luck. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they brought luck. So yeah. So Finral's like saw Asta has like something occupying his mind. So he's like, "Is this what's wrong, Asta?" He goes, nothing. It's just that I actually found out who my family was. I met my family, my real family." He goes, "As like Finral goes, what really?" He goes, "How was it?" He goes, "It was good." Found out that they were being manipulated by one of their bodyguards, and then all their money was getting stolen and stuff. Yeah, it was a bunch of crap. Because what do you mean? What are you, like a royal or something? Because apparently I'm part of the Frost family or something like that. As he goes, wait, you're part of one of the big royal families. He goes, yeah, I think it's still sucking into my head. Like I'm just now like understanding that and stuff. As he goes, huh. That does make sense why you have so much magical power then. Also goes, I guess so. That means why it makes sense why I have ice magic as well. It's whatever. So basically, the whole thing would happen. Asta would talk to that redhead girl again about like the kids in the orphanage because she takes care of some orphans and stuff like that. So and then yeah. Basically that whole thing would be over with, but yeah, the whole thing would be over with, and well, Asta, of course, of course, he would come back about a couple days to go hang out at the orphanage with that one girl. I don't remember her name right now, but yeah. So basically, you'd just go over there, hang out with them. Um, he would take Noelle because he wants to show Noelle like this is how he grew up and stuff like that. To show her like how he grew up because he already know now he knows like this full story of how Noelle grew up and stuff like that. So he's like, yeah, I guess I could show you how I grew up. Basically, took her to like the place at the orphanage with the redhead chick, right? And basically, they were there for a while. They were there for like an hour. As Asta is like, huh? As you know, as Noelle's like, so this is how you grew up, just with a bunch of kids and one person taking care of you. Yeah, that's really what it was. But it took me. It was a little different for me, of course, because of my eye and all. But yeah, basically, he would since he's been really happy recently, and he still is. His ice is a lot like prettier than in like his rage ice, because his rage ice looks like terrible. It's pretty terrifying looking. But during the time, like his old ice shard that he created against in the invasion, is still there. By the way, it's still like the middle courtyard where they were fighting and stuff. It's actually like people visit it a lot. They're like, "Whoa, like look how much magical power could it take to make this thing, Jesus!" And they all found out it was actually Asta Fra. It was actually Asta from the Black Bulls who made this when they were um, fighting the Midnight Sun. As they're like, someone from the Black Bulls can do this, jeez. since they all look down upon the Black Bulls and all. They're like, man, all the other Magic Knights must be even stronger, right? Little they know, right? So yeah, Asta was like just Asta. So back to like Asta and stuff. So yeah, he basically was making it snow pretty well as he's like he's making like really cool ice sculptures and toys for the kids out of his ice and stuff. As they're all like really happy with him and like they're all happy and stuff. Then here comes Gauche. Fucking mirror, dude. Gosh, I think it's Gauche, English hard. So yeah, basically he came and he's like, I see, and Austin finally like realized that one of the kids looked kind of familiar. So he was playing with like he was playing like tag with a couple of like the kids, right? Marie was like, hanging out with Noelle and like playing with Noelle. Gosh, I don't fucking know how to say his name. Um, he'd basically come and be like, a weirdo, being the weirdo self he is. He'd be like, Noelle, like, what's happening here? As basically, Noelle's like, oh, what are you doing here? He goes, here to see my sister. He goes, your sister? As then Mary was like, well, Noelle, the girl Noelle was playing with, goes, yeah, he's my older brother. And Noelle's like, oh, no wonder you look familiar. His Austin would come around the corner with like two kids hanging off his arms and stuff. He's like, oh, no wonder she did look familiar. He goes, well, it's good to see you here, I guess. As he started trying to like, he was like, okay, cool. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna recreate the whole thing between Asta and Gauche. Call him Gauche. I don't give a fuck. I don't fucking know this dude. So yeah. So basically, they all kept on like playing with the kids all for like the whole day and stuff, and then like it got really late, and but then she like the one girl recommended that they all stay there and stuff like that. Um, then of course the lady, the nun that would train both Mary and Alona and Volcano. So she trained them and stuff like that, and yeah. Oof. So with that, Asta got some tips and tricks from her because she's a fire mage, and well, yeah. So she's just giving like some like hints at the monozone thing and all that. So he was like, oh, so I can. So basically, it's like a skill that you can allow your whole allows you to make the whole area out of your mana and not just regular, just your mana. So it's like a mana zone. So you kind of thought about it, was like that sounds like kind of like a mana zone I've ever heard of. Is she hinting towards it? I guess she is. So basically, the night would happen as Asta will actually start awake because well he's heard footsteps since he has enhanced hearing because of his eye being gone and all that. He heard like little tiny footsteps, a bunch of them as well. He goes, "What the hell? Why is there so many?" As then he looks out the door and sees all these children start walking towards the cave area. As he would then like get up and get dressed, and then he'll wake up, Gauche and Noelle, and it's basically like he's like, "What the hell are you waking me up for?" He goes, well, okay, if you don't carry that, all the orphans are getting walking in one same direction towards the same mountain. I could just allow you to sleep." He goes, Marie. He gets up, and goes, Marie, no. So basically, afterwards, basically him and Gauche and the nun, of course, that has the flame magic and stuff like that. So with they would all go there, right, and yeah, so forth. They would all get to this cave as well. One of the kids actually would somehow broke free from the magic spell, and well, he was all scared and stuff. So basically, Asta gave him his scarf and put the scarf around him. And goes, "Here, this will keep you safe for a bit. This will keep you safe. So stay here and make sure that nobody comes in. All right?" As he goes, as he's basically not his head. Um, with that, they would go inside and stuff like that. As Asta's kind of pissed right now because like what he's looking at right now as well, contraption that's sucking the mana out of kids. So he's like, "Oh, what the fuck is this, bro?" He's like, "Oh, hell no, jeez." So basically he got all like, so basically he started releasing. He didn't release any mana pressure at all because well, there's little children around, and that can pop like that can affect children really badly and stuff like that. So he's like, "I'll try to keep it on low." That's basically Marie got saved right at the bat, and Gauche left. Gauche, Gauche left, bro. So yeah, so basically he left and stuff like that, and well, yeah. As Austin goes, "Well, that was fucking wonderful." As the dude that had the snow magic, he was like, "These are my new friends. Get out of here." As Asta goes, "Yeah, whatever. If you wanted to make friends, you don't steal them. You make them, not steal friends. You weirdo." And basically just rushed him and um, made a blunt object out of his ice and hit him in the head, allowing him to get knocked out. So with that, Asta, of course, is like, so annoying. As the next guy would be like, "Oh, we said we stored enough mana power, blah, blah, blah," and stuff like that. And, well, yeah. Sally would appear as Asta goes, "God damn it, that weird girl, that weird lady again, jeez." She goes, "Oh, Asta, you're here. I don't need you now anymore, but it would be still fun to, like experiment on you." So Asta goes, "Yeah, ain't happening, lady." So with Asta, of course, he was like, "Alright." So with that, the nun will start using her, like leopard, her like fire leopard to start taking all the children out. As basically all of them are taken out, and she goes, "Well, now we could go all out." Asta goes, Finally, as he starts releasing a bunch of Amana, as well, like the nun's like, "Whoa, this kid has a lot, that's for sure." So, as Asta Woodwell, of course, he would, fuck, he would yeah. So he would releasing magic. He would then he would do a spell doing 1,000 needles of death. Doing 1,000 needles of death would go straight towards the dude with the rock magic, and start piercing straight through his rock magic. The needles are a lot more sharper than they naturally usually are, because Asta's pretty pissed right now, by the way. So yeah. So basically, he is like just bombarding the dude with his ice magic. While at the same time, well, now the guy was kind of defeated, right? And now, of course, Sally injects him with that weird, like, evil, like, magic enhancer thingy. So doing so, the guy would turn on into, like, a huge, gigantic, he would turn into a gigantic magic creature. As Asta goes, as then the nun goes, well, it looks like he turned into a magic monster. Asta goes, a magic monster? I heard about them. So yeah, so they're made out of, so basically they're just humans that lost control of their magic, really. She goes, something like that, but it should be a lot more difficult. Asta goes, well, it should be, but not if I use this again. As his grimoire would flip a couple pages, as it would go to mana manipulation. As he goes mana manipulation, activate. Doing so, his book would close again, and he would put it back in his sleeve. He goes, well, what are you doing? He goes, don't you need your grimoire to do spells, you know that. He goes, not with this spell is special. It's meant for this. As he releases all his mana he has, not holding it back anymore. Doing so, the whole room starts freezing again. The nun's like, holy shit, it is cold in here. Her like some of her fire magic, majority of her fire magic spell, like her fire leopard that's active right now, is actually flickering, about to like get deactivated because of the coldness. So yeah. So Asta goes, well, I'm pretty sure we're done here now. Doing so, he would, send a huge ass fucking ice, big ass ice thing, ice blast towards him, freezing him solid, and I also would take off majority of his ice and walk up to the dude, the big old like mud monster that he turned into, and will flick it. Doing so, he would shatter to pieces. As the nun's like, why'd you kill him? He goes, as you said before, he's not a man anymore, a person. He was a creature, a monster. And just put him out of his misery. Plus, he kind of deserved it. Kidnapping little children to gain their mana, ridiculous. Doing so, actually, Noel actually went back and started telling. Basically, this started happening again as the wall above all shattered. Everything was destroyed up in head, and all his ice was destroyed as well. As he's like, what the hell? As there would be a person in like this light that appears with markings on his face and pointy ears. As Asta goes, wait. He goes, you're Licht, the leader of the Midnight Sun, aren't you? As he goes, you're Asta, right? The one who defeated all my comrades with one move? I guess you'd be too much of a hassle in the future. Let me just end you now. Doing so, Asta, of course, wasn't really expecting it to be the light magic. He already knows it's light magic, but he wasn't expecting it to be so fast. He's heard light magic is fast, but he didn't know it was fast. Doing so, two sword of light, of course, went towards Asta. The nun, of course, jumped in the way for Asta because, she's 1 foot in the grave, she said afterwards. And she's like, basically, she helped save Asta as during the time, as soon as it broke, and Asta's been talking to Noel, she used a halo device that's made out of mana that is there to signal for Finral to come to them real quick. So doing so, it got Finral there as, of course, Finral opened the portal, was like, he hopped out, was like, what's up? He goes, the leader of the Midnight Sun's here. We're gonna need we need help, or Captain Yami and stuff. As he goes, he goes, well, shit. As he basically gets Captain Yami, and Yami's like kind of pissed. He's like, the fuck you wake me up for, bro? And he goes, well, because you want a good fight. Well, the Midnight Sun leader is out here, out where Asta is at, and Gauche. As he goes, I'm gonna kill Asta when he gets back. He says, he goes, well, if you kill him, he can't really kill him anymore because I already know of his status. So don't rub it in my face. It's basically they would come back through a portal exactly where on Asta's like area. It's basically Yami would block a couple more from Asta getting hit as he goes, man, you are really worthless. You can't even dodge these easy attacks. Asta goes, I'm not a captain, right? And plus it's light magic. I don't know how to sense these things coming. I can't sense the mana coming towards me. He goes, don't use mana, use ki. As he goes, ki? He goes, pretty sure you used it before. Or I've heard from Noelle that she used it during the attack or when going on. The spatial mage guy came out of the thing. As Asta goes, wait, that was ki? I thought that was... Because that's ki. So you might... So I'll teach you how to learn it during this fight. As basically the spatial mage was there as well. As he's like, yeah, I can finally get payback on this dude. As Asta goes, oh, here we go again. As basically he goes, you can practice on that guy, I'll take on the boss. As he goes, well, Asta goes, okay. So doing so, Yami would start his fight with, well, of course, Licht, while Asta was practicing on spatial mage how to use ki, how to sense ki and stuff. Asta being a natural known prodigy, he of course would get it fairly easy. Doing so, he would start sensing the ki before the attack even happened, and he would block it. As he made like a replica of Yami's katana, as he's like, yeah, he made an ice one, so he's blocking all the swords, the other sword strikes from the spatial mage with his own sword, ice sword. So he's like, yeah, you ain't getting me now, buddy. So doing with that, of course, Yami would actually do fairly decent against Licht, as he's called, doing pretty decent against Licht. So he was like, yeah. Yami was like very impressed with Asta's ki sensing. And he did it really fast. He was like, and since Asta actually has a mana in this one, he doesn't go as like, wow, that's weird. You're weird. He's like, wow. He goes, it's like we got a prodigy on our hands. He said, well, never mind. He basically went back to the fight, and well, yeah. I wonder, shouldn't dark magic be like the exact counter for light magic? Like, shouldn't they just cancel each other out all the time? I mean, I think it does, but yeah. But the off chance of that is that the light magic's obviously faster, right? I mean, yeah. So, well, that shit lagged hard, but so yeah. So back with that, I also beat the spatial mage pretty easily, blocking a couple of them as the guy was getting kind of tired of it, and well, he started doing a lot more attacks through a bunch of spatial portals, doing about like 15 each go. As Asta's like, fucking damn. As he's kept on blocking each one as he's getting better and better. I'm giving Asta, I also forgot to tell you that I gave Asta the potential of like a Saiyan. So each time, like during a fight, they learn, they get stronger during the fight. So that's like the potential Asta has. So yeah. So with Asta doing all that and stuff, he would he would beat the spatial mage pretty bad this time. The spatial mage would have a bunch of cuts on him, as Asta would, Yami would jump back next to Asta. He goes, do you have any magic that could probably, do you have any Yami asks you, do you have any spells that could, block that? As they look and see a gigantic sword about to come their way, and just a huge light blast, as Asta goes, no, but I got a defensive magic that could possibly help a little bit. As he goes, good, activate it now, and I'll activate my my little his darkness barrier thingy he made. So doing so, Finral got the fuck out of there already. He's like, nah, I'm out of here, chief. And doing so, like he was getting help, of course, because that's Finral. He's a G. So during the fight and all that, Asta. Oh yeah. So yeah, basically they would get into their. They would be entrapped in Yami's darkness ball. Has Asta's big, gigantic glacier that he just made over around him, and Yami would be sitting there. As with Licht, he's like, impressive. That the ice magic is something else. So is not surprised by Yami though. The darkness mage, the dark magic mage. So with that, Asta, of course, was like, here's the side who goes, you wonder if we're gonna die at all? He goes, most likely. He goes, well, you have like no hope for us surviving, don't you? He goes, no. Asta goes, well, what do you not sense the other 3 keys that are coming our way? He goes, no. How can you sense that anyway? Asta goes, I have no idea, but I can feel it, that's for sure. Plus, these guys are loud. They're super loud. He's like covering a bit of his ears and stuff. He goes, I don't hear anything. He goes, oh, I forgot to tell you. I forgot. Since I lost an eye, my senses are a bit enhanced. My hearing's really enhanced because I lost an eye. I got enhanced hearing, so yeah, it doesn't help sometimes, especially when you yell at us. As Yami goes, I guess that's helpful, but do you know who's coming from your hearing? As he goes, Finral, I'm pretty sure. The other 3, I have no idea, honestly, he says. As who was it that showed up? I know it was Nozel. What other captains came? Let's say it was Nozel and the girl that has the dream magic and what else? Oh, let's just say it was Nozel, Jack, and the fuck that girl's name is the Blue Rose Captain. Her, they showed up and stuff like that. Well, the Blue Rose Captain's like freaking out because Yami's there, right? So, doing so, but before that even happened, Gauche, he used his mirror magic to reflect the attack back to Licht and stuff like that. So, of course, Licht used the spatial magic. The spatial magic user used spatial magic and got his leader out of there and stuff like that. So with that, they would basically appear again through the spatial magic as all four captains there with Asta and Gauche. Seeing so, all 3 of the captains are like, "What the fuck is this thing?" Looking at some gigantic ice glacier, like some gigantic ice thing is. Basically, it would shatter to like millions of pieces and stuff, and Asta and Yami would appear out, and he goes, "What the hell happened?" As Gauche goes, "I reflected an attack." Okay, as they go, "Oh, so we didn't even need to get defense. You see that, Captain Yami? Wow. So we're stuck in my ice and your darkness magic. Ridiculous." As he goes, "Shut up." Goes, "Yeah, what it is." So doing so, they would actually, it looks like, yeah, I can't handle everybody here. I was having some trouble with just Yami, bruh. And since Yami he senses ki alone. Yami's a fucking dude. He's a hard dude to go fight, bro. Yami is that for sure. So yeah, so with Asta, of course, he would, as Lix goes, "Well, we will meet again." Does that whole villain thing. "Well, I'll see you again sometime." And then, like, So yeah, it's Asta. And like Yanni goes, where the hell's Finral? As Finral's like, I'm right here, Captain. He goes, alright, take me back home. Take us back to the base. It's basically they'll all head back to the base and stuff like that. Well, Asta stayed, of course, just in case anything happened again, and they would come back. And so yeah, that would be it for that one, for that little arc that happened. It would have been told by Julius had been told about the whole incident thingy. So yeah, afterwards, what was next? Give me a second. So yeah, the next arc. So basically, what happened next is, well, a couple days passed as Yanni got a note from actually Julius saying that the whole Black Knight squad is going to be sent to the Seabed temple to go obtain the magic stone there. As Yanni's like, good, okay, whatever. So basically, they would get there as they were all really surprised at how beautiful it looks there and stuff like that. I don't remember all the fights that happened there. I know there's the two, like the brother and sister duo, and like the brother is like in love with Noelle for some reason. At some point, I do not remember when that happened. I don't know what else happens there at that point and stuff like that. But I do know, of course, like I know they got so they got challenged by the head priest there and shit like that. So yeah. They got challenged by the head priest for the magic stone to play a game. To say, but they had to fight all the other two and fight for it and stuff like that. So yeah, but during the time, though I don't remember a lot of the people's names. So yeah. So basically, the dude would show up with the curse magic and like the fucking hella powerful beast magic and shit. Yami being a captain, he had to watch the whole thing as Asta, Vanessa, and Finral, of course, were the ones that had to face him first. Noelle faced, let's say, Noelle was there, of course, as well. I remember that. Luck was fighting one of the two siblings, I'm pretty sure, and so is Magna, I think. So yeah, Asta would see the guy, goes, and then we'll see the markings. He goes, "You're part of the Midnight My Son thing, right?" As he goes, "Oh, congratulations, right?" He goes, "Yeah, but I'm gonna kill you." As Asta goes, good luck with that. So basically, the whole fight would start. The guy would start overpowering. He wouldn't be really overpowering Asta, but Vanessa and Finral would be start getting overpowered by him. So yeah, doing so, he's getting actually kind of overpowered now since they're all working together. Finral's using the spatial magic, and Asta's using his thousand needles of death, and using that as well as using that spell along with the demonic ice mirrors, where he like merges with his mirrors and becomes really fucking fast. He of course did that. So that's the whole dome inside. They're inside of some huge dome made of ice. So the whole thing is made from ice. With that, since it's more of a like a trap, like the demonic ice mirrors is like a trap. It stays there, so he's able to use more spells at the same time. So zipping through like the whole demonic ice mirrors, he is able to. Asta was able to use some ice and like ice needles and start sending them his way. So some of the ice needles, of course, were captured by Vanessa. She started manipulating them with a thread and started making it like a needle, right? So yeah, doing that, and also with the needles going through a bunch of spatial portals going at him, it was very overwhelming for him. He had to activate his third eye, of course, which would, well, yeah, boost his power immensely and stuff. That would actually breaks all the ice needles that were already there, breaking a part of breaking almost the whole demonic ice mirror dome. Asta's like, holy fuck, this dude's power just. Poof. So yeah, he of course was like, "Oh, you guys are gonna die now," basically. Um, with the power up, Asta just goes, "Well, I guess we have to move up a bit too, huh, guys?" With that, doing this whole thing, Finral, of course, got a new spell, being the multiple spatial magic spots being almost multiplied in it, and also with, well, Vanessa, she of course just kept on using her uh, thread to manipulate the ice needles. What else? Um, hmm. So all sorts of doing that and stuff. Asta, he made the katana again, and, well, him being a lot more having mana in this one, he's able to enhance his speed with mana. So he is as fast as he was in the fight against the dude with the help of Vanessa with her uh, threads and stuff. He's as fast as that right now. Asta is, and he's using the the ice katana that he made early. During the fight against Licht and during the fight against the spatial mage, he's actually gotten pretty used to it. He's like, yeah, this is kind of cool. I like this sword. So he was using that and stuff and cutting the guy up pretty well, being really, really fast. The guy started, the dude was like born, like, yeah, was good. So everybody actually got there at some point, and, well, yeah. They were just watching Asta, and mainly just Asta just started beating on this dude that's supposed to be part of the Midnight Sun, right? So I actually said it right, I'm pretty sure. Cool. So they're like, holy fuck, Asta's strong as fuck, dude. As Asta was being like, yeah, so yeah, he of course is doing really well. At this point, Yami is like, okay, I need to get in there. So basically, he, like, somehow, I don't remember how he broke out of the little thing, but he did. He broke out of it and appeared there, and, well, yeah, he would unlock his new spell, being the Dimension Slash. So he would finish the guy off with the Dimension Slash and all that. So yeah, that would be the end of that arc. I actually forgot to mention that Asta, his arms were still actually cursed. Actually, I'm gonna do another thing. Asta got one of his arms accidentally cursed without paying attention. He lost attention for a second because Yami appeared, and, well, the dude cursed one of his arms. Asta's like, oh fuck, he can't use it anymore, and it hurts really bad. Him holding it and stuff like that, it was his left arm and stuff. So basically, after Yami defeated him, they did get the magic stone, and yeah. Getting the magic stone, they would complete this mission, getting a lot more stars. Asta, of course, would be going through immense pain of his, of course, cursed arm. So with that, Asta was like, Yami, of course, was like, damn, we should probably get that arm fixed for you. So basically, Julius would heard about it and stuff like that. Of course, from the reports, they said that Asta's arm got really, really injured, and there's nothing wrong with it. It just won't work. So basically, they would get the same dude that actually fixed Asta's eye back when he was little, and well, yeah. He would also see this guy again. He basically walks in and goes, you look really familiar, sir. He goes, what's your name again? He goes, Asta Frost. I goes, Asta, oh. He goes, on your mask, oh. So, okay. That now I remember too. That's why you look familiar as well, kid. It was, I was the one that fixed your eye back when it got destroyed. And his Asta goes, oh, well, thank you, sir, for allowing me not to die from bleeding out and stuff. She goes, yeah, no problem. So I heard about your arm it doesn't work? He goes, no, my right left arm stopped working ever since the fight. I either think it's a curse or something like that, but I just see if you're able to fix it at least. It would be helpful, but I don't always need two arms. I still have my right arm, I guess. So yeah, also he was like, yeah. Mages, I heard mages that I've seen and heard mages that used one arm, and that didn't really affect them at all. They just didn't have arm there. Asta goes, yeah. So with that, of course, he checked it, and well, there's nothing he could do, sadly. But he got something weird with Asta's eye socket. That's of course empty because they finally took the eye out and stuff. But he told Asta, he goes, it's something whack, something's kind of weird with your eye. He goes, what do you mean? He goes, it's almost as it's reforming. Asta goes, really? How? He goes, I have no idea. As he's like, can you take off your mask for me? He goes, yeah. That's basically you hear the breaking of the ice and see the mask come off again as he goes. So as he looks at it, he goes, yeah. It looks like your eye's getting made out of ice. As Austin goes, wait, really? Goes, mm-hmm. Goes, that's something special. I've heard there was another incident like this with another black bull. He goes, really? Wait, what? There was? He goes, yeah. His name was Gauche or something like that. He used mirror magic. And his eye that's covered up with his hair is actually a mirror eye. When it does that, he could make a mirror copy of somebody through it. As Asta goes, so I would have an eye like that as well? He goes, something like that. It should just it should be developing, keep on going until a point where it would fully develop. Then you would have a new eye, an ice eye to say. But we don't know what the abilities of it could be. Well, I'm guessing it could be something with ice, of course, because that's your magic type. Asta goes, oh, all right, cool. Goes, well, that's good to know. He goes, well, sorry, there's nothing I can do about your arm. Asta goes, just take it off. He goes, what? He goes, just amputate my arm. It's not depressing to lose my arm and all, but it won't hold me back that much. I would probably be a little bit of handicap, but that's fine. He goes, are you sure? He goes, yeah, I'm sure. He goes, alright. He goes, here. As he goes, there. As basically it was like a couple hours later, Asta's finally waking up from the amputation. The amputation surgery he just went through. Doing so, he, of course, walked out of the room. He walked out of the room in like a, he walked out of the room and, well, yeah. Walking out of the room, Yami's like, what the hell took you so long? It was a couple hours you're in there for. Asta goes, yeah, because I got my arm amputated. And she goes, what? He goes, what the hell? Why the hell did you get your arm amputated, you idiot? He goes, we could have got he goes, did you even know what was wrong with it? He goes, it was cursed. There's no way I could have got it off, and I didn't trust anybody else. If there was somebody out there, I don't trust them. I had a bad feeling for it, but I decided to just get it taken off. It won't hold me back that much. And plus, it was just holding me back anyways at this point. I'm fine with it, and it was my decision. But anyway, Captain Yami, he goes, what is in there? He goes, do you mind if you could train me? He goes, why would I train a brat like you? He goes, in the way of your sword. You know, I've been realizing I've been using the replica made out of my ice magic exactly like your sword. Because I realized that, but I just thought you were doing perfectly fine without any training. Plus, if you only have one arm, it's it's really unpredictable then. You don't know where we're going to swing. You can swing majority to the left, but if you come up from, it's kind of predictable if you're now thinking about it, he says. But it should be a lot easier. You'll be lighter and faster now, that's for sure. Also goes, I guess you're right, huh? As he goes, good. He goes, yeah. So Asta was like, basically, he goes, well, I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go into the stores. All right. As he goes, all right, but he goes, all right, cool. I'm gonna go play poker then. As Asta goes, well, all right then. And it's basically Asta. We're gonna do a little outfit change for Asta now. He's gonna wear a hori. Yeah, he's gonna wear one. He's gonna wear I haven't chose yet, but I have an idea. I want to make it into, it's going to be white, that's for sure. So yeah, he's going to have a white hori with, I might just go with, like snowflakes or something like that. So yeah, I guess we could go with that. He wears that with the undershirt being black. So yeah, so basically his right arm is now, his left nub is always covered now. So people don't really notice that he's handicapped. But and stuff like that. So it doesn't look like he is, but he really is. Like, I mean, you can tell if you really looked hard enough. Like, if you like, oh look, there's no like shoulder there. What the fuck? So yeah, so they're like, yeah. So with that, Asta, of course, he bought a hori that had, of course. I know they're like in medieval times, like that's what it seems like they're in, but like, come on, it's a Japanese. It's from like this show is made in Japan. Like, come on, you have to have some aspects of Japanese. You know, fucking what's the word? English sucks. Okay, like yeah. So you have to have like some stuff that is from Japan, right? Like a katana, horis, and like the kitsune mask and stuff like that. Yeah. So Asta, he kept, of course, the mask still. Um, he wears just regular black pants. He just wears the black pants like normal. So yeah, doing so, he basically now, and he looks better, of course. So yeah. He also bought like so he does have his red scarf as usual, but he also bought like oh no, where are we gonna put the black clover, the not the black clover, the black bowls insignia and stuff. Where is that gonna go? I mean, that could go on the back of his hori. Yeah, let's just do that. Then I'll have to make the black hori, then the black hori with like snowflakes and stuff like that on it, like a snowflake pattern, like a snowy pattern or something like that. Yeah, and it's black and stuff. So yeah, Asta, he basically like was all dressed up and stuff as By the way, there won't be any. There won't be the whole fight in the witch's forest because, well, the blood witch is crazy powerful. By the way, yeah. So she could easily take all of them on. Doing so would actually not allow Mars to have his little girlfriend back. She would be killed. Mars would somehow escape. The other dude would have died. The dude that Asta fought when he first unlocked his transformation, his the anti magic transformation when he got, yeah. So the first one, yeah. So yeah, that dude was died because he'd been like a lot stronger, of course, but Asta took him down with relatively ease to say in his new form. So, and the Blood Witch controlled Asta super easily. Like even though she tricked him, like she could probably beat his ass anyways. So she, of course, she took care of all that, and yeah. So Salamander does not have a rightful owner anymore. Yeah, I wonder what it's gonna go to. Maybe another guy with a missing arm. Sorry, give me a second. Alright, so basically the next arc was the training camp arc. So yeah, we're gonna do that. I don't know how actually long training camp arc was really, but I'm gonna make it since Licht. I don't think the dude knows where every single magic stone is at. So I'm gonna say it's gonna take about 2 months of training camp. So yeah, 2 months of training camp would be perfect for Asta to get used to not having his left arm. So it's the main reason I'm doing it. And it's an absolutely perfect spot for Asta to train at the volcano because his magic's ice. So if he trained at the volcano being a very, very hot area with very hot mana, and he's able to freeze the mana and work on his mana zone, or yeah, stuff like that, I say that it would be a perfect spot for someone with like ice magic or even water magic. It'd be a perfect spot. And even really good for, of course, fire mages as well because it's a hot spot and they're able to obtain and try to, they naturally, of course, can learn how to make their fire hotter. But that also is a counterpart for ice mages and water mages. So we know more fire is more like water is more of a counter for fire. So fire is more of a counter for ice because it melts the ice and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm gonna have it so Asta's he's gonna be training there for like 2 months or so. So basically, but the first thing that's happened is the Star Festival. So we get to see who actually is the top squad this time. So yeah, basically the Star event would happen as this is actually going to be where the Frost family is actually going to announce Asta's return and stuff like that. Nobody really knows it unless you're like a higher up, like in the noble areas and your standings in Clover Kingdom. You would know that actually the heir of the Frost family is actually back, and then the whole like the thing that happened to Frost family was going to get announced as well. So people thought the Frost family was just absolutely booty now, but no, they're getting manipulated and stuff like that because of the despair of the last two Frost members. So yeah. So now there's only three. There's three left, and one of them's a very, very powerful mage now. So that's really helpful for that for Asta's like family and shit like that. So yeah. So now we're going to go. So the Star Festival will basically start right with Yami. He would take Asta. He'd be like, "All right, we're going." He goes, "We're going to the Star Festival." And Asta goes, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah. Don't you want to know what place we got?" He goes, Asta thinks, if we're considered dead last, I think we probably get around maybe like third, like fourth place. And Yami goes, me too. Goes, so yeah, Asta, of course, he's like, he would get all ready and stuff like wearing his hori and all that now. So yeah. So with Asta, he, of course, he will start the whole Star Festival happen with, actually, I think, was the two like brother and sister duo that were at the one that's like in love with Noelle and shit, didn't they come as well? I think they went as well. So yeah, in this Asta in this one, he was basically hanging with Noelle, and Finral. Him and Finral are pretty like cool, like they're pretty close and stuff. Since they are like those three used to, Finral used to be a royal. I mean, he still is a royal, but of course he wasn't treated like one. He was treated like absolute trash in his family, along with Noel. Asta just didn't have a family, so he was just like, yeah, what's good. He didn't have like a whole royal family, so he doesn't know much about it. So yeah, so basically, he wore along with the Black Wolf's insignia is actually on one of the left like chest area of the Hori. It's on there, and then the back of it has the frost sign as well. So the Frost family sign, so which is just just a snowflake and stuff like that. So Asta has that on there. Some people did notice they're like, whatever. It could just be the design of the shirt, since the shirt does have, you know, the the snowy pattern on it. So yeah. As basically Asta, Finral, and Noel are basically walking around as Finral goes, I like the new outfit, Asta. It looks pretty good. He goes, thank you. He goes, you'll be look good for the ladies as well. As Finral do his whole thing, as Asta goes, you don't really look that good with that type of hairstyle. Maybe you should get a new hairstyle. It'd probably help you out. As he goes, really? He goes, you really think so? He goes, of course. You maybe just do what you think would do. Noah, what do you think would make Finral look better? I guess she goes, stop being such a creep around girls. As Asta just kind of blank faces, and Finral is like, he's like, he just got stabbed, right? He's just dead now at this point. Just yeah. So I'm just kidding. He's like, yeah, that would help for sure. But with the hairstyle, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's fine now, but it would probably look better if he like styled it with something. So this is when Finral, of course, would go get his new hairstyle with the tip dyed green and stuff like that. So with that and all, everybody, of course, was the Wizard King showed up. Was like, all right, announcements for the top squads this year. As Asta goes, I wonder where we're gonna place. That'd be kind of cool. Jeez, that dude was flying. So yeah, Asta was like, he's just sitting there with he was pretty stoked and happy, and yeah, he was like, he's just having a good time. He's only there for a second, then he has to go find his grandparents and stuff, right? Sorry, mate. So Asta, of course, is well. So yeah, he's basically standing there with Noel and Finral as they're basically watching the whole thing. Basically, it counts off from the very bottom. So basically, very bottom is the green praying mantis. I think it was the peacock something. Then it was like the painter dude, the painter captain. That's like a kid. Yeah, that's his squad next. The purple orcas. I don't know why I know that still. So yeah. So we got purple. Then it would be the Crimson Lion Kings. In third place would be Silver Eagles, and Asta's like, damn, we got top two. As Asta, of course, he's like, oh, I'm fine with this, bro. We got top two. That is what's up. As next would be as even Julius is like, what the fuck? As Julius goes, second place is Golden Dawn. As they're like, oh, Asta's like, no fucking way, dude. We got second place? That's great. How? How do we get second place? As that's basically like all the Black Bulls are first place. How do we get first place? All the Black Bulls are. As Asta goes, all that work paid off, finally. So basically, it goes first place, Black Bulls. As everybody's just like, what? As they're like, oh, they had to cheat somehow. Some like majority of the nobles were saying, like, they had to cheat somehow. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way the Black Bulls. They had to cheat it. As like Julius hearing this, he goes, so for the top three people, for the top three squads, the people that contributed the most stars, you guys can come up here. I'll name you out. Basically, it's just a random dude from like Silver Eagles, right? Um, then it would be as Yuno goes, oh shit, cool. As Asta goes, wow, Yuno did a lot, that's cool. As next it would be Asta. As he didn't say Frost, he goes, oh, it's like we're not announcing it yet or something, he says. As basically they all walk up there. As basically he goes off, he goes, all right, he goes, the stars they had and stuff like that were like, the Black Bulls had like 200 stars. The Golden Dawn had like 180, and then Silver Eagles had like 170, like 160, like 3 or something like that. I'm making numbers up, by the way. So basically, yeah, it's been a whole year since the whole thing happened. So the Star Festival is like right before the whole next entrance exam, let's say. So yeah, so basically, Asta's like basically Asta's standing up there, as so as as Asta's just like he's just looking around like, damn, that's a lot of people here, he thinks. So of course he goes, alright, the main contributors, blah blah blah. Silver Eagles dude had like 40. And people are like, wow, that's a good amount. And he goes, alright, had 60. It's like, oh my god, that's a lot, jeez. As he goes, and Asta had 140. It's like, they're like, what? As Asta just, as they're like, man, that's a new record. Julius says, he goes, that's even more than I did when I was his age, Jesus. As basically, as they're like, that's definitely why they won, then. As then Seke's like, oh yeah, they're commoners, by the way. As, like, Julius is like, here we go again. Because, well, one of them's a commoner, so he know. Well, one of them's royal, actually, he thinks. He says to himself. But then they're like, so basically, yeah, with that, Asta is basically just sitting there. And Yuno's like, hey, Yuno just starts powering up full power. Because Julius kind of said something to Yuno, goes, go full power and shoot at Austin. Then you show why you two are, there. So basically, pulled out his, the spirit, Tinkerbell came out, right? I don't know her real name, the spirit's real name. I'm just calling her Tinkerbell. She looks exactly like Tinkerbell. So basically, yeah, she would come on. She like, all right, goes, all right, full power. It's basically go full power blast, which is like a whole big ass arrow. Austin's just looking at it, goes, whoa, 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 what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And he goes, I'm shooting this at you. As Austin goes, fuck. As Austin whispers to himself, he goes, mana manipulation activate. As doing so, the wind arrow of course get blasted at Asta, as Asta would just stare at it with his hands in his pants pockets, as his hand in his pants pockets, as a huge wall of ice would just fly up in front of him. As he would block it, as he would start receiving the ice, as he goes, as all all the nobles stuff are like, well, fuck, I guess we can't say shit anymore, right? As Julius is like, he goes, wait a minute. He goes, Asta. Asta goes, yeah. He goes, as he looks at Asta, he goes, where's your arm? As everybody starts noticing that he's missing arms, like, Asta goes, oh, did I not tell you about this? He goes, no, you didn't. Why? He goes, I got cursed by some dude we fought from the Eye of the Midnight Sun. He's part of the group, and, well, we fought him. I fought him along with two of my comrades. Doing so, the dude worked with curse magic, and also his raw physical strength was off the charts as well. Using the curse magic, he cursed one of my arms when I was distracted. When our captain showed up, I kind of got distracted, which was my fault, 100%. And doing so, he got one of my arms cursed. There's no way to get rid of the curse. We could not find a way. So I decided to just cut it off. As Wizard King's like, oh, well then. As Yuno goes, well, there goes another piece of his body that's missing. As he thinks. As even all the wizard, like the magic knights, have so much more respect for Asta. Like he's walking around with one arm and just going around beating the fuck out of people. Like, like this dude have 140 stars, and like now he has one arm, bro. Like, come on. As Asta's like, it's basically, well, you guys can go down. You know, and blah blah, whatever your name is, you could go down now. It's basically they'll head down as Asta stays up there. That's like Noel's like, oh, why is Asta staying up there? His friend goes, well, do you not know yet? She goes, what? Asta's royalty, remember? She goes, oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's basically, as they're, like, people are still looking as the Wizard King goes, oh, alright, we have one more announcement. As Asta's up there as now, Asta's up there as his grandparents start walking up behind him and stuff, and they stand next to him. Asta is, of course, taller than them, since he's younger and stuff. And yeah, since they were kind of shorter, and they were kind of on the shorter side, so yeah, they were on, they were just next to him and stuff like that, as Asta as well, just standing there, as basically, Julius goes, well, we have informed, some of you guys might have known that we found the heir of the Frost family. Well, if you know, the Frost family's been going through some tough times and all that. As Julius goes, well, it's not my part to say, as basically he looks at one of the three, has both Asta's grandparents just push him forward. And Asta goes, oh, I guess I'm talking about this, okay. Asta just basically walks up as he goes, how do I explain this? So I guess I'll tell you a little bit about myself. My name's Asta Frost. I am the heir of the Frost family. I was born, well, I don't know where I was born actually. I was an orphan from what I can remember, and had this pendant with me when I was born. I never thought much about it and all that, right? So yeah. Doing so, like, with that, I grew up in the Hodge village, in the orphanage about west of the village. I grew up in a church along with other children as well later in the future. Not my real brother, but the person I see as my brother, me and him grew up in Hodge village. I did not know I was a royal until about a couple months ago, actually. Because my captain saw my pendant and he was kind of curious about it, and well, that's where we started off. We went to, of course, Wizard King, and he talked about the things that have been happening with the Frost family. We found out who my mother was and all that. Doing so with that, I found out I'm royalty, and I did not know I was part of the family, such a great family as well. So the Wizard King found that, well, we found that there was a bodyguard that my grandparents hired for the loss of my uncles that I did not know myself, but I've heard stories about so far. Sound pretty amazing to me. They lost their lives about a year ago. They, of course, were losing their lives caused my grandparents to, of course, go to kind of a despair state and, mourn their deaths. Someone took advantage of that and decided to start manipulating them with the magic, mind manipulation magic. He did that, stealing all the funds and causing all these bad things to happen towards my family. So when we found him, well, of course he's put in jail. And then now that's why we're here today. I am announced nobody's been told this yet, but it's now. So basically, I am the next heir of the Frost family. As he makes some eyes and goes, this is the Frost family eyes. He goes, as basically that was announced and stuff like that. And people are like, okay, never mind, one of them is a fucking royal, apparently. Alright, cool, I guess. As with that, basically Asta would basically hug his grandparents and stuff as they would basically go to where all the elder nobles stay during this like event. So basically afterwards, the whole event was ended with Asta and Noel hanging out majority of the time. Mimosa joined, of course, along with Yuno is just wanted to hang out with Asta a bit because, well, he hasn't hang out with his old brother to say for a long time, for a while now. So yeah, but it was announced over Clover Kingdom and stuff like that. So now even the orphanage in with Sister Lily and the father there, they now found out that they were taking care of probably one of the most important people in Clover right there, and they were his family. That was they were family they were family to him, as they know. So they were they were surprised for one, and two they were just happy that Asta is doing really well, but they were also like kind of like freaked out, like this dude lost his arm, like another piece of his body has gone missing, right? So yeah, they were like, yeah, so they were pretty happy for Austin. Ah, fuck. Hold on. I fixed my little stand on my cell phone case. I had to put like some tape on it because it broke. So if I was wanting like use my phone for like making videos like I always do, I had to use tape to make it hold it stand up to actually make the stand actually hold. So yeah, I was just fixing that real quick. So yeah, afterwards, Asta was actually going to go. He was leaving the area after like talking to his grandparents for a second. As he walked into something that was kind of weird to him, he's like, "Whoa, okay." So he basically walked into the area as now there's some lady with orange hair, along with Leopold, who looks really similar, and she's yelling at them about how they're Crimson Lion Kings and they're gonna go train their heart off. As also basically just trying to sneak by, but Mariana was like, oh no, you don't. She was gonna get Asta there anyways because she heard about him, and was just like, yeah, I want this kid to train with us, right? So basically, she grabbed him with her like fire claw. It was like, hey, where do you think you're going, huh? Asta goes, fuck. As he gets turned around, he looks at Leopold and goes, hey, what's up, Leopold? As he goes, my rival. As Asta goes, yeah. He goes, he goes, where were you heading anyways? He goes, I was going to go home. But it looks like I'm training tonight. As Marilyn goes, yes, you are. As basically Noel was pulled into it as well, along with for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah, he was. Basically, they would show up at the volcano as Asta goes, man, it's really, really hot here, Jesus. As Leopold's like, it's not that hot here, calm down. As then Marilyn goes, it's because he's an ice mage. He gets affected by the heat even more, so this is a perfect spot for him to train, actually. As Asta goes, so, he goes, if you continue on, you'll probably die, Asta. He goes, so why am I here? He goes, to learn how to use mana skin. As soon as she was showed off, he goes, oh, so you're just layering mana over your skin. Okay. Haha, funny, mana skin, get it? He said he did that little joke, right? As then a blue, like a pretty bright blue appeared around his body. He goes, yep, there's mana skin. He goes, ooh, that feels so much better. It's kind of hard to keep up, though. She goes, again, you're an ice mage. It's going to melt your mana a bit. If you keep it up, it makes your mana colder. That's what I'm expecting it to do, at least. So Asta goes, oh, okay. Bruh, this dude keeps on fucking running into me. So yeah, Asta, of course, he started heading up there wow, my voice. He started heading up there, right? He headed up there. He was like, yeah. He was like the fourth. He was like the second one up there because of course, could fly, but it took him a second to get how to use the mana skin. And Asta, being very physical fit, he could run pretty fast. He enhanced his running with mana as well. So yeah, he was able to get up there pretty easily. Being at the very top of it, of course, was the most dense spot. but it canceled out instantly as soon as they get to like the spring, right? But yeah, Asta's like, whew, man, that's crazy. Like I already feel it's like almost like I feel like my mana's getting colder. That's for sure. As Asta goes, oh man, that was pretty difficult. As Mary Malone was already there and stuff, she's like, I was expecting you to be here first out of everybody. Asta goes, really? It wasn't that hard. It's just that I could keep it up for long enough. And from up here, it's even more dense, it seems like. She goes, yeah, it is. But come over here real quick. As basically he walks over to her and stuff like that. As they look over, she goes, look over there. As they look over there, it's just a hot spring. He goes, wait, what the hell? He goes, it's a natural hot spring. It soothes the mana. It's really, really cool, actually. But then we won't be using this at all until we get the whole group training in. What the fuck? So yeah, Asta was like, okay, I guess. See, Asta continued and stuff like that as he just kept on training, running back up and down the whole time as they're like, yo, what the hell? So yeah, they basically watched him do all that and stuff like that. A lot of them were like, how the hell does this kid do it? As Asta just kept on continuing going up and down as he just trained his mana during this whole time. Mariana was actually pretty impressed with Asta being like, damn, this kid fucking has a work ethic at least. She would basically. So yeah, afterwards the whole thing happened. Yeah, they were only there for they were there for that night, and then the training was done. Asta, of course, he kept on going back and back there every single fucking time because yeah, Noelle was there and stuff, and she was getting better training as well. So yeah, Asta was there for 2 months straight, each day going there because he really liked training there. It was actually very soothing for some reason. So doing so, he of course would well. Yeah, so he trained there for about 2 months. Is he actually talked to the elder guy at the tower, being like the immortal dude I've talked about. He's talked to him back at the Grimoire Tower many times about magic. He's learned Asta's learned a lot more about magic than a lot of people would in their life, unless you're like a captain or the Wizard King, right? So yeah, with Asta, of course, he was like, oh, cool. So, yeah, so he's actually found 2 new techniques. He found monozone and another one. I'm gonna keep secret for now. But he learned a better version of monozone in like his own created version of monozone, and he learned magic walk, which is where you can stand on magic. Yami learned it at some point as well. Asta learned it here, and so did Yami, of course. Got pulled in by Mary Malona, and yeah, so she trained both of them at the same time. So yeah, that's when they both learned it. Asta learned it faster because well, he's a prodigy at that. So yeah, he learned it faster and gave some tips to Yami, or well, he had to, or he would have died, as Yami told him he would kill him. So yeah, Asta's like, well, fucking chill, buddy. So with Asta, he has a better control of his mana, even more now. It's fucking crazy control of his mana now at this point. Remember, Leona already has all that crazy control of mana and stuff like that. So yeah. So yeah, with Asta being like, yeah. Bruh. Bruh. Just imagine listening to me drink for about an hour straight, dude. That would be crazy. That would be annoying as fuck. Just, I'm already annoying myself. So yeah, we go back to it. So after the 2 months are done, of course, yeah, that's the 2 months are fucking done. So now it would actually be to the tournament portion of tournament port. Yeah, so basically the tournament part. I don't know all the matches. I know that Langris fought, of course, Finral, and that whole shit. Like Saboon, like Tingy happened. Yeah, the whole thing happened and stuff like that, right? As so yeah, that whole thing happened and stuff like that, and yeah. So with this tournament, I'm gonna have to look up all the fights and stuff like that. So you have to give me a second, real quick. So yeah. Also, if you guys want to know what Asta's ranking at this point is, Asta's ranking is at senior 3. He's gone up this whole thing. So yeah, he's got up a whole ranking because he was at intermediate 3 last time, but he went up to senior 3. So that's basically like vice. That's like vice captain. Like that's like yeah, that's like vice captain level right there. So yeah, that's his ranking. But I say he's a little bit he is stronger than the paint dude, and he is stronger than not Jack. Jack is pretty fucking strong. He fights Yami all the time, bro. Of course, Yami. I think Yami is the strongest captain out of all of them until Fuegoleon gets until Fuegoleon gets the salamander. Then like yeah, um, he gets really really strong there. But I think Yami's a little bit stronger than Fuegoleon with his salamander. So with the vice captains, 100% Oz is stronger than all vice captains. That's a known fact. Besides Noct, Noct is their vice captain. He's really really strong. So yeah, Noct is the first strongest vice captain. Asta is just so yeah. So basically, the only people Asta can't really beat right now is like Leona, Nozel, Jack, Yami, Noct, Licht, the real Lick, Julius, the Dark Triad, and not actually, just Um, is weaker than Asta right now. So yeah. What else? Who else? Who else? Who else? He is not stronger than the one devil pop that's gonna pop up pretty soon. Definitely not stronger than fucking Lucifero, but yeah. So yeah, that's basically it. Asta is one of the strongest mages in Clover Kingdom now. Yeah, he's the second strongest in the hideout right now because Noct, of course, is doing his whole business in Spade Kingdom. By the way, spoiler. Wait, that's not a spoiler anymore at this point. Because it's basically. No, I don't think it's actually been adapted into the anime yet. So, whatever. It's really. It's like a couple episodes off, honestly. So, yeah, just fucking suck it up. Honestly, if you guys don't want to listen to spoilers, you don't have to watch this. You don't have to. I'm not making you watch this. So yeah, Asta, he is probably one of the strongest mages in Clover Kingdom right now. He definitely cannot be Mary Winona. She is fucking strong as shit, my dude. Honestly, when Julius gets nerfed, like heavily nerfed because he gets really young again. Mary Leona is the strongest mage, no, like without a doubt. She's the strongest mage. not until Asta got his union informed. No, let's not talk about that yet, right? So yeah, Asta. Yeah, so Asta, he's really powerful right now, and with his adding along with his magic, mana stand, mana walk, where she can walk on mana and stuff. So yeah. So yeah, with his mana walk and his upgraded, his better version of mana zone, yeah, it's pretty cool. You get your then like if you get trapped in his mana zone, you're fucked, bro. You ain't not getting out of that. His mana zone is super strong. It's probably the strongest mana zone out of all of the Magic Knights. It's really hard to get out unless you have a direct counter like fire magic, or even just really strong magic like world tree magic, like even like just basically all the captain's magic types. They could break out of it, but if you're someone else, you're fucked. Just the arcane magic types really can really just break out of Asta's mana zone. So yeah, so yeah, with Asta being, wait, hold up, what, how much? Hour 30? Is that what it is? Yeah, hour 30. So yeah, Asta, of course, he would, well, hold up. Fuck, I had to stretch real quick. My phone's finna die, so give me a second. Alright, so yeah, Asta, of course, he's like, he's very, very strong. I was just gonna make it so where he automatically gets onto it being so strong, but I'm gonna have to go through the tournament just so he can show off a bit. So yeah. So let me go through all the fights that happened during it real quick. Give me a second. All right, so the first fight was, of course, it was. I'm just going off of all the fights that are going so far, and I'm just doing the ones that Asta were in. Okay, so the first fight, of course, was with Asta's paired up with Mimosa and Zora, which Zora was just introduced at this point and stuff like that. So Asta just figured out just found out who Zora was and shit like that. So yeah, he found out who Zora just is. Zora does not like Mimosa or Asta because he just found out Asta was a royal too. But Asta quickly shut that down. It's like, no, I grew up as a commoner. I just found out I was a royal like a month ago, like a couple months ago, dude. So you can fucking chillax. And Mimosa's fine. Leave her out of it. So basically, Mimosa, of course, like blushed out of that because Asta thinks Mimosa's fine. So it's like, oh, cool. So yeah, the fight would against be like some random ass. Let me think. So the first two opponents were like some random people off of different squads. I went to the fight bracket thingy I just found on the internet, and it said that one of them had crystal magic, the other had fire, and the other had rock. So of course, Zora has the trap magic along with ash magic, with Mimosa having plant magic and creation magic. So also in this one has ice magic and creation magic because he's able to create shit out of his ice. So it counts as like a creation magic to say. So with that, Asta would basically just tell them basically Zora would of course get all his traps ready, and also would go with Zora's plan. Doing so, they would actually defeat the other team fairly easily, because with Zora's plan, he can plant traps in the sky, on mana in the sky. So he has that ability to do that and stuff like that. So he was able to go against him. He was able to defeat the other squad fairly easily because of Zora's trap magic. Mimosa, of course, helped as well, hiding in a couple traps. Not because traps are invisible and stuff like that, unless you have mana sense, you're able to sense them. Just barely, though. With Zora's traps, they're really, really, really hard to sense. So, yeah, Asta, he was basically a distraction during the whole time. Because the people, of course, were shaken up because they remember how powerful Asta is, but it's been 2 months then, and they're like, he couldn't get that strong, right? Little they know, right? So So yeah, of course they would beat them by using the traps, using the trap magics on them. Zora placed the trap magic in front of them without even them realizing it because Asta was distracting them. Asta ran behind the trap magic, was literally right in front of them with the crystal behind them. Doing so, it caught the magic and sent it back twice, twofold, and that destroyed their own crystal, and that's how they won. Julius is like, damn, that fucking trap magic. It's like, bro, that trap magic is good. Well, because he was like, really, he had like stars in his eyes because it's new magic, he seems, right? Julius and his magic, bro, I swear. So, hold on, I need to look up other fights real quick. Give me a second. So, next fight with Asta, of course, would be Kirsch, Magna Soul. Kirsch is actually Mimosa's older brother, I think. So, yeah. Kirsch, of course, Zora's like, yeah, I don't fucking like him, noble bitch. Magna and the other girl, Soul, she is like, I think the vice captain for the Blue Knights or something like that. She calls whatever faces like sister all the time. He's like, don't call me that. He goes, all right, sister, and says some shit like that. And James Charles shit, you know. so so the fight, what I can remember right now is that they actually trapped Zierst, whatever you say, how Kirst, or something like that, inside of an area where fucking Asta, he hollowed out an area by just digging there, right? And then they used a trap magic and they trapped them in there and stuff like that. Magda was defeated pretty easily, and then so was Soul. But yeah, the hard problem was Mosa's brother. So yeah. This one, since Asta is different, it's gonna turn out different. So Mimosa is like, great, now I got my brother, now I gotta go against my brother. Asta goes, oh, so that's your brother? He goes, yeah, he's cherry blossom. His cherry blossom magic. It also goes, cherry blossom, what does it do? He goes, well, you can turn the cherry blossoms to like tiny blades or something like that, and stuff like that. Asta goes, tiny blades, huh? He goes, well, it's pretty easy it's very easy for us to win this. He said, he goes, why is that? I just have to get him captured, right? That's pretty easy to do. It's really, really hard to cut through my ice. Recently, I tried to cut through it with everything. Anybody tried to cut through it and they haven't been able to. That's because Asta's ice has gotten even colder. Doing so because he trained 2 months straight on the top of a volcano. And with his ice actually be able to stay up there for about a week, that his ice is very, very durable and super, super cold. It's like basically just exactly below. It's exactly like, bro, it's fucking cold, my dude. His ice is super, super cold now, so Asta's like, I just need to freeze him. There's no way he'd be able to cut through my ice. Nobody has been able, not even my captain's Lightlish Slash. And she goes, really? He goes, yeah. What the fuck? So let me take care of your brother. You two take care of Magna. Magna is a fire user, so Zora, you should go against him. From what I can tell, what I remember from the other girl, I think she's a rock mage, right? So you should be able to get her, Mimosa. As Mimosa's like, okay. So basically, with that, Asta, of course, was well. Yeah, so basically, Asta, he used key sensing and found Mimosa's brother. I already forgot his name. It's like Kirsch or something like that. He found her as he was going, oh, you defy my beauty or something like that. Some weird shit he does because he thinks he's super pretty or something like that. So he would say something like that, and Asta's like, no, I'm just here to show you something that's truly beautiful, he says. He goes, ooh, are you challenging me to a beauty fight? Asta goes, yeah, let's see, I guess. Asta, of course, he would just stand there with his one hand in his pocket. The guy goes, you're not going to use your grimoire. This is an easy fight for me, then. Asta goes, I don't need my grimoire. I have my magic's purely, I'm just going to beat you with purely just ice. She goes, oh, so you're ice mage. That's simple. I could cut it up with ease. Asta goes, yeah, sure you can, buddy. As doing so, he would actually send a block, using his mana manipulation, he would send a big chunk of ice towards him, shoot it straight at him just from the ground, as he would try to use his cherry blossoms to hit it, but it wouldn't work, as Kirsch would get encased in ice, as he would, of course, be captured. he wouldn't die or anything like that. He would just be like knocked out. Of course, he could breathe and stuff like that because Asta made sure he could. So yeah, Zora, he of course tricked Magnus because Magnus isn't the smartest person, so he tricked Magnus into hitting a scatter shot inside of a trap, which backfired twofold towards him, and that of course hit Magnus and knocked himself out. Mimosa, I say she, of course, using against plant magic versus rock, of course, she could just break down the rock by using plants. Using her plant magic, she cased the souls, golems and stuff like that. Doing so, winning the match by her encasing her inside of a bunch of plants, basically trapping her inside of it. So, of course, that was in as Asta just used he lifted up his right arm, his only arm, by the way, and shot a spike towards the crystal, shattering the crystal with ease with this. He goes, alright, that's a fight down. We're up. Who's up next, he thinks. Alright, I gotta look for more fights. Let me get a second. So, I'm gonna do this because this is where Asta and the Black Bulls become really badass. So this is the fight against Langris and Finral. The fight goes actually per normal as, canon, right? Of course, as Finral's already changed his hair because of Asta's, suggestion. As Asta, yeah. Now this one, Asta and Finral are actually pretty fucking close in this one, along with Noelle. So it's just those three are like a little trio that always hang out together. So they're all pretty close, and well, yeah. During the fight, of course, Finral unlocked a new magic, the spatial attack magic. He actually finally locked one. It's the similar one to, of course, his brother Langris, his younger brother. Doing so, he, of course, Langris started beating him, and it was actually at the point of where Finral was about to die, as Asta is just feeling this evil power come off of Langris. He goes, "This is not going to end well," he says, as he instantly. Of course, he uses his magic, enhances himself in magic as he just basically disappears. But as he used Mono Walk as well, and got there very fast. As soon as Langris was about to kill Finral, Asta was there Asta was the first one there, as he instantly, he jumped on, he was standing on the mana as he dropped down. He was standing 2 feet above Langris, and dropped down and implanted his foot onto Langris' face, slamming into the ground as he goes, "If you dare try to touch one of my comrades or hurt them again, just like you were about to, I will kill you myself. We don't care about the stupid tournament." As basically, then, Magna and Luck would get there as well, finally, as they would appear. It goes, "You better listen to him." And they're basically, as the guys stupid commoners. Well, also kind of chuckles because stupid commoners. I didn't know I stole one. As basically, the Wizard King shows up and goes, "Alright, that's enough. You proved your point, Asta, come on." As basically, they would all go back, with Finral getting healed, of course, right off the bat. Asta did put some ice magic on his body to, of course, stop majority of the bleeding, which helps a lot, of course. So with Asta, so I gotta go look at other fights. Give me a second. I totally forgot about Langris. Instantly, afterwards, tried to he tried to fight Asta. He did this one. I'm making it a 1v1 for this. Mimosa and Zora know that Asta could probably 100% handle this dude. He just fucking wrecked the dude without even guy knowing. So they're like, yeah. Mimosa's like, be careful though. It is spatial magic. So basically, Asta goes, "I'll be careful. I'll be fine." As basically they would go there, and then Langris would be standing on his spot, and Asta would be standing on his spot. Basically, this is not even a crystal battle. You can win by hitting the crystal, but Langris is trying to kill Asta in this one. So Asta, of course, already knows that. He turns around as soon as the fight starts, and well, he just encases his crystal in a big, gigantic block of ice. So yeah, Langer's spatial magic can break the ice, of course, because it takes spaces of ice out of it. So Asta's like, it's not gonna be that much, but if it's just a random just a random one that comes out of nowhere, it should help a tad bit. He says. Because now, as well, Asta, of course, he basically walked forward as long as Langer says basically longer, same thing. So longer. So yeah, sir. Yeah, Asta, yeah, he's fucking. What? I just burped. So weird. So yeah, Asta, he of course. I got hiccups. I got burp, bruh. Oh my god. That food was smack though, ain't gonna care. So yeah, Asta, he basically he's pissed right now. He's like, yeah, you just fucked up my best friend, dude. You gonna pay for that shit. I don't give a fuck if you fuckers are related. I don't give two fucks. So basically, he's gonna fuck shit up, and well, he's going all out on Langers. Like Langers went all out on Finral, and so yeah, he's gonna. So yeah, that's gonna happen. So with Asta, he was basically standing about 5 feet away from Langris, and Langris goes, I'm gonna kill you, right? Asta goes, yeah, I want to see you try, bud. As he basically has his hand in his pocket. Goes, you're a handicapped, one-handed, loser, you know that, right? Asta goes, trying to get me even angrier is not gonna help your problem. It's gonna be worse for you. My ice works on emotion. So I suggest you stop, because like your ice will do anything. You have spatial magic. Austin goes, we'll see in a second. You'll see. As basically everybody's watching, as like even the Wizard King's like, oh, like on the edge of his seat, like, bro, there's so much tension between those two right now. As basically Mary Milona was there, she goes, oh well, that other kid's fucked. As he says that, and like everybody else is like, what do you mean? He goes, Asta is probably one of the strongest mages in Clover. I say he's probably like 10th strongest in Clover. As they're like, what? So yeah, Asta's just looking at him, just has his eyes just cold. It's like he's staring daggers into him. He's just looking at him. As he goes, you're probably gonna die as well if I do this, if I go all out. So whatever. You try to kill my best friend, I guess. I mean, I will try not to kill you since you are related to him. But at the same time, you're going to pay for what you did. As basically Asta, he goes, I'll show you a little something I've learned over the past 2 months. Something I even surpassed Miss Marilona. I forgot how to say her name, bro. Mary Malona, fuck. Basically, yeah, her. He goes, I surpass even her in this category right here. He goes, she's not even that strong either. Spatial magic is the best magic. Plus, you're gonna die anyways. Being trashed like in black holes. Asta goes, alright. Goes, you can start whenever you want, or try to at least. As Langer's bringing us Grimoire, as he's about to do a spell, as Asta goes, magic domain. So yeah, it's instead of magic zone, it's domain. Like everything turns to ice around Asta. Everything starts freezing underneath his feet, going around into a huge radius. As of course, with that, Asta is Langer's like, what the hell's happening? As he's tried to summon spells, but he can't right now. It's not working that well. It's really weak. You try to summon a spell like the spatial attack he did on Finral, but they're just dwindling out before anything can hit. As Asta goes, this is called, usually this would be called, monozone, but I've upgraded it and got it even better. I call it monodomain. it takes everything around you and just it's just yours now. Everything around me is mine to control. As you can still see, it's not like a huge dome area. It's just everything around, all the mana around him. Like for like a mile, just for like a mile, like a whole mile surrounding the radius, like a mile. So basically, Asta's in the middle, and it's like just a mile, a huge gigantic circle that's 2 miles across and stuff like that. And then yeah, you get it, right? So basically, from like the distance between the outer size of the, of course, mana domain, from where Asta's standing to the outside to the very end of mana domain is a mile. So that's 360 degrees around him. So that's a lot of that is a huge domain for Asta. Asta wasn't trying to make it that big, but since he's been working on this at the volcano, his ice of course got a lot stronger and colder. And it also means his mana got a lot stronger as well. So yeah, he was trying to do like half a mile, but he actually did a mile. So he's like, as like even the Wizard King's like, whoa, he goes, wow, he goes, what is this? As Mary Lona starts speaking up, she goes, he calls it mana domain. He upgraded the mana zone to work with his ice even better. It's everything around him now he controls. Even somebody else's spell, if they actually get a spell off, he can control the spell himself. The magic all around that, inside of that icy area, all that inside of the ice of all mana inside of his domain is his mana now. So basically, they're like, well, fuck, that's overpowered. As like even like some of the captains are like, damn, I can't even do that. What the fuck? As they just see Asta just starts walking away, right? As he goes, I'm not gonna hurt you at all, Langris. I was just proving a point that you shouldn't mess with the wrong people. See, I would want to kill you, but killing you would give me some time in jail to say. And I don't want that. I want to get rid of the Eye of the Midnight Sun. They're too much of a hassle, really. They're really annoying and stuff. But too late. He goes, don't worry, your crystal's already destroyed anyways. As soon as Langris looks behind him, he sees the ice spike go through his crystal. As he goes, what, how? Because this is impossible. You're a commoner. Also goes, no, if you were paying attention the last 2 months, you would realize that I'm actually the heir of the Frost family. He goes, there's no way. He goes, yeah, there's a way. It's called being born into the family. As he just cancels his domain, as everything will go back to normal. As Langris is like, damn, Langris is fucking terrified of Asta now. He's like, so like since the mana pressure of the domain as well it would probably like if it was like if he was just like a weaker just by a bit, if he was like Finral strength, he would probably crumble down and start crying like a little girl, bruh. So but he's just like he's breathing heavily, like that was so much mana he just experienced going all directed at him, like that's gonna do something to him. So he's pretty terrified of Asta's mana now. Like, yeah, he's pretty terrified from it. As that is the end of that fight. So let me get a second. I want to see if there's any other fights that I remember. So the next fight that would happen, of course, they would all get put into the Royal Knights. This would be the Royal Knights arc after. There would be 3 fights that would happen right before the big old fight with Licht, right? So basically, we find out that Licht is actually not Licht. Licht is still kind of alive, but they need the rest of the magic stones. The Eye of the Midnight Sun does. So they send Sally and the corpse magic user to go find the rest of the magic stones, which actually are at the Black Bull's base. Then at that point, Henry and Gauche Gordon and Gray would actually fight them. They would have got overwhelmed. Like Sally and the other guy got overwhelmed for a second, but so with that, Sally and the other dude, the corpse using magic dude, they did get this. They got the fucking stones, so they retreated. So yeah, the next fight would be, of course, it would be so basically at this point they Asta and all the Royal Knights squad now have gone to the base. They found the base for Eye of the Midnight Sun. They gone there as they're all separate, looking for all the magic stones to get them, so they can't get there, or to kill or capture everybody there as well. So doing so, Asta was with Mariolona and Zora. Yuno was with Klaus and another dude. Don't remember what his name was. So Mariolona, they got split up with Asta. Asta and Zora got split up with Mariolona, as they were, of course. Mariolona was fighting, of course, the guy who has the copy magic. The copy magic, he of course copied almost everybody's magic, as well as Asta's. But Asta's, like, the copy magic is not that good, especially against Mariolona. Like, it's not going to do that much against it. So basically, Mariolona would have beat her, but one of the other three, what's it called? One of the three, well, I think it's the girl, right? So one of the three elves are actually put into a body, and it's actually in the actual world right now, is, I think it was the dude. I think it was the girl. I think she interfered with Mariolona. They interfered, so the fight, of course, was interfered with, so yeah, we don't know who won that fight yet. As basically we go to the next fight, which was actually the Wizard King versus, as we know, Patry. You get the backstory Patry and all that, and yeah. So the Wizard King fights Patry and all that, but Patry was a second soul within William Vonchin's body. So the reason that Julius lost is because he didn't want to kill William. William was like a son to him, to say, and so was Yami. Yami was there to witness the whole fight, and well, he did find out that William was the one who actually did all that. It was the actual leader of the Eye of the Midnight Sun. But it wasn't actually William, it was just Patry using William's body. Patry is another elf that was tricked. No, I don't go too far. Another elf that survived and was put into William's body when William was younger. And, well, Patry was William's first friend. Because of the scar that William has, he, of course, got looked down upon and was like a slave, I'm pretty sure. And with that, basically, Patry, of course, fought Julius. Julius did not want to kill William, so he, of course, purposely lost the fight because he didn't want to kill William. So yeah. I gotta look at the other shit. I don't remember too much of this. Give me a second. So, from what I could tell from the website and stuff that I'm looking on, because I don't remember everything, like, I don't have, it's not like Naruto, like, I remember almost everything from Naruto, because I watched Naruto, like, 4 to 5 times already, like, yeah, so I remember a lot of Naruto and stuff. But with this one, so Lyra, I think, was actually the painter. So at this point, Patry has finished the ritual and stuff, and that was under an inside of the demon skull. It was the tree. I think it was the tree of life or something like that. It was called. Doing so, it resurrected. It allowed everybody that was there right now, who was basically the reincarnation of a elf. All the elf souls reside in them are actually now back alive again. So they taken over their bodies and stuff like that. Lyra is the paint. I'm pretty sure the paint magician, the captain and stuff like that. So Asta and Zora and Mary Milona would fight those two. But later on they would fight. So I'm not going deep into the fight because, well, it's Mary Milona and she would just kick ass. So they later find that Asta, of course, could probably help a bunch. But Mary Milona, of course, wants to fight them. So they would let her fight him in this one. With the fight, it was interrupted by a couple, literally 3 more elves. 3 more elves, so yeah. The fight was interrupted, and next would be the big old fight with Mary Milona and against the 5 elves. So, give me a second. I need to see. So, during the fight with Mary Milona and the 5 elves, which was a pretty badass fight, ain't gonna lie, she, of course, they got another boost. They grew wings and stuff like that. It was actually a boost towards their mana, which got them even more powerful. So the Lyra character was actually the elf that reside within the painting magic elves. So yeah, the painting magic captain. I don't remember his actual name. So yeah, she was actually very heavily injured within it, as Asta, of course, would throw a big blast of ice at them, and well, yeah, he was able to, of course, somewhat help, able to, of course, get them kind of confused for a second, and was able to escape with Mary Milona. During the time they're going down through the base to get her out of there, she was heavily injured. Not fatally, though, but she could die if there was no... She could possibly die, but it's a little tiny chance. She was just really heavily injured. With that, Asta, of course, he told Zora that he's going to go on ahead. Zora was not questioning it because, well, fucking Asta's a beast. So, of course, he went up, and he went past the other 5 elves. He took a different route. And Asta ended up finding, actually, the next group, which was actually Yuno's group, with Klaus and another, I think it was actually with Klaus and I think the captain of the purple orcas. I don't know if it's actually him, but let's say it is, I guess. I think the new captain. The old captain, of course, I got in trouble somehow. I don't remember how that really happened. So, yeah. As Asta would see that Yuno's actually an elf, as he's like, Yuno, are you still there? Are you an elf? And Yuno goes, huh? What are you talking about? He goes, I'm not an elf. He goes, okay, so you are Yuno, but why do you look like an elf? As Klaus and other guys who became elves as well, Yuno's like, is that what I look like? Do I have like these, as he would feel his ears and they're like pointy, he's like, oh, well, shit. He goes, well, as we later find out that Yuno is actually the reincarnation of Licht's unborn child that died. So that's why he doesn't have a personality, anything like that. That's why it's still Yuno. Did I hit it? What? No way. So Asta, yeah, him and Yuno would then fight Klaus, actually beating Klaus, and so yeah. At this point, I don't want to. I'm basically just narrating. That's fucking stupid. So they say, Yuno's like, well, we gotta fight Klaus and that guy. And Asta goes, well, actually, he goes, when you actually turn into, well, the elf, your mana gets enhanced. Because, elves are loved by mana and stuff. And Yuno's like, right, okay. So my mana must be enhanced as well, right? He goes, it should be. We should be able to take them out very easily. Klaus wasn't that strong in the first place. Neither was, well, I mean, the other guy is a captain. I'll take on the captain guy, you take on Klaus. He goes, sure, yeah. As Asta goes, well, here we go. As Asta would, well... He would then face the Purple Orca's captain, as he's like, "Oh, who are you?" He goes, "You got a strong mana." Because I wonder who you could be. Asta goes, "My name's Asta Frost. I hate this title, but I'm a noble of the Clover Kingdom." Goes, "Sorry, but we can't allow you to keep on doing what you're doing. I'm very sorry that this is gonna have to happen." Elf, as he goes, "So your kind killed us in the first place." Asta goes, "We did? When?" He goes, the first Wizard King killed us." Asta goes, "Well, wasn't the first Wizard King sister getting married to like your leader or something like that?" He goes, "He was, but he betrayed us and killed his sister as well." Asta goes, "I don't think so. When I heard stories of the Wizard King," I see you get interrupted as the guy would send a magical strike towards him. I don't know what his magic is, and I don't really care. So yeah, Asta's like, "Whoa, he's trying to talk here. I don't really like fighting people that could possibly be allies. But yeah, it's whatever now. There's nothing we can do about it." Go, "Sorry about this, Mr. Elf. Sorry about this, Mr. Elf. I don't know what your name is, but I don't mean to hurt you. I'm trying to protect my people as well." Doing so, Asta will send a blast towards him, freezing him in ice, and while doing so, suffocating him in the ice until he gets knocked out, which Asta uses enhanced hearing to do. The enhanced hearing is able to tell he's basically unconscious, really. So he would then take down the ice, as Klaus is already beaten by as Yuno's like, "Well, that was easy for you." He goes, "It really was, but there's something fishy about this." Yuno goes, "What do you mean?" He goes, "They said that the first Wizard King is the one that killed them all. But the first Wizard King's sister is actually marrying the leader of the elves. I think his name was Licht. It's an older story, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I think there could be a possibility that someone's manipulating them, but we have to see that in the future. We have to hurry up and get this all crap over with." Yeah, give me a second. Alright, the next fight, basically Asta and basically start heading up. They were heading up and all that, as they would see an elf just sitting there, as he doesn't look like anybody they know, as looks very familiar to Asta because he fought a person named Lick. As Asta goes, "Hello, you there?" But no answer. So, last in the canon, Asta had Lick's old grimoire and swords. This one, they found the demon that resides within the five-leaf clover, which was Lick's grimoire. They took out the swords and give it to Lick and his grimoire back. That means the anti-magic demon is actually kicked out of the grimoire. He's actually running around somewhere. He's like hiding right now somewhere within the Clover Kingdom. So yeah. Since actually, the first Wizard King is not unsealed yet, that means Lick is half unsealed and sealed. So Lick cannot talk, but he can still fight. He's still gonna fight though, that's for sure. So Lick didn't say anything and just rushed Asta, instantly hitting one with one of the swords. But the swords, of course, are dull. The swords are dull for being like put out for so long and being affected by the anti-magic at first. So the swords are dull, and that just hit Asta in the rib, cracking a couple ribs as he would go flying through the wall. Would activate his wings, his wing state that he got from the spirit magic. So with that, he would start trying to fight Licht. Licht would actually overpower really fast, as Asta would come back and he has his ice katana, and he's using the mana walk to run on mana and stuff like that. So with all of that, Asta, of course, he was getting a little bit pressured towards Lick, but Lick just used the power of the swords, using the Demon Dweller sword to throw magic at them. The Demon Slayer sword, I don't think that's actually hit one of his. Is it? It should be. Yeah, it is. I don't know what the actual like use for it was. All I know it got really enlarged and stuff like that. So basically, yeah, he basically enlarged the Demon Slayer sword and chopped it down at Asta. Asta got hit again while Yuno is somehow still not getting hit. Oh, I forget because Yuno's a fucking elf, yeah. So he's basically mainly hitting Asta because, well, he thinks the elf has betrayed them and, well, he's going to try to get the elf back on their side. That's what Lick is thinking. Well, not himself is thinking. So with that, Asta, of course, is keep on getting hit and hit. Doing that, he's getting really annoyed at this point. Asta would, well, actually, he would get a new spell. Actually, a new power upgrade. He kind of fucked that guy's shit up. So yeah, he would get a new power upgrade. Since Yuno has the left side wing, Asta's gonna get a right side wing of some sort of power. This is gonna be this is another thing. Asta's his father's side, actually. This is why I'm giving Asta's to his father's side. Asta's father is actually an angel in this one. I really think Asta's father is an angel or devil in fucking canon, bro. Like Asta's body is way too durable for just a regular human. So I'm really thinking it's either angel or devil. So I mean, it's most likely devil because with Libe, whenever he goes into his like spoiler alert, by the way, spoiler alert. Libe is actually Asta's, well, stepbrother. Asta's real mother took care of Libe since Libe has anti-magic, and Asta's mother had a disease that would actually suck the life force out of somebody. So yeah, Asta, Libe has 2 horns, but when Asta uses the Union form, he actually has 4 horns. So I think Asta actually is a part devil, but he can't use the devil power yet. So I'm really thinking Asta's either part devil, or at some point Libe absorbs some of Lucifero's power at some point. But yeah, I'm just going on a whim right here. I don't know, but in this one, Asta's father was actually an angel. Not some random angel. Okay, it's not gonna be like Michael or something like that. It's just gonna be a random angel since the angels are more of light. Asta is gonna have a secondary magic in this one. Now he doesn't know what it is yet, but he's gonna unlock it pretty soon. So Asta would basically feeling this, like, Asta would basically be inside the wall now, as his life is just flashing between his eyes. No, his life is flashing through, like, right now. He's just seeing his whole life flash before his eyes. Like, come on. So he's like, I can't die here. I just can't. I have to protect the Clover Kingdom and protect my family, protect all my friends. So yeah, Asta, of course, as well. Yeah, that emotional pull that he's having right now, it would just be perfect for the moment. He doesn't get a new spell. He finally uses the other half of his DNA. He gets, well, his grimoire gets bigger as a part of it turns white, as it has the 4-leaf on it, of course, but on the back, on the cover of it, half the cover is white, and the other half is now like icy blue. Now, the one half of the cover on the right side of the cover the left side of the cover actually has a wing on it, and it has the whole embroiderment of the gold writing on the sides, and the clover is still gold. As Asta goes, what the hell? As Asta, of course, would, well, then he would stand up as this white substance would start going onto Asta, appearing on his body, as basically it's the whole thing with Yuno's as well. How Yuno has the little crown thing. Asta has more of a halo. More like a halo. And as well as this halo, as his wing, of course, that he has. It's not like an actual wing, it's like the Have you seen Yuno's wing? Like it's more like a big ass long ass oval. So that's basically like how his wing is right now. And well, yeah, it's pure white, along with the energy that, along with this weird sub, like this, the angel power that's within Asta right now is coming out. It's rushing through his body right now, along with his regular mana. So he's basically has a wing now, along with um, more like a halo and stuff like that. With like, if you've seen like Asta's like how he whenever he uses anti magic in canon, he has, you know the he has the black like anti magic going through his body, like outside of his body as well. That one is actually happening the same thing with his. That's happening the same thing with his um, angel power. It's white. It's going through. Basically, it looks like his eye, and it's white. As Asta, I'm doing this with actually this little power up thing that's happening to Asta right now. His other part of his mask would fall off, with his left eye being a pure ice eye. As Asta would then stand up with, well, he still only has one arm, by the way. He's always going to have one arm. Well, maybe, I don't know. So yeah, he still has one arm with that as. Yuno's like, what the hell? What is this? What is Asta? What is Asta? It's like, it's not what is Asta's power, it's more like, what is Asta? As Asta stands there, as he basically takes like a step forward, as he's even faster than he was last time. If you don't actually see what's happening right here, Asta's secondary magic is actually light magic. His light magic is just regular light magic. It's not like light sword magic or anything. It's just regular light magic. It's the same as Patry's. But since Asta's a angel, half angel in this one, he of course has a lot of mana. So Asta basically stand next to Yuno on his right side as Asta goes, don't worry, it's still me. I don't know what this power is, but we need to survive this fight. As basically nod his head. With that, Asta and would rush Licht. Asta being a lot faster than Yuno's like pretty surprised, like, damn, when the hell did Asta get so damn fast? Right? So with that, Asta was a lot faster than Yuno was. Yeah, so Yuno couldn't really keep up by Licht. Of course, Licht was keeping up because he has light magic as well. Those two were almost going the same exact speed, but Asta was really outmatched still. Licht has a lot more control over his light magic than Asta would, and Asta's ice magic is a little bit slower. Later in the future, I might make it so he implements his light magic and ice magic together, so it just becomes light ice magic, right? So that's where it just becomes really fucking fast, and his light magic, his light ice magic would bind together, making light ice magic. It's basically where his ice is almost just basically white. Usually it's like a bluish color, but if he implements his light magic with his ice, making light ice magic, which is actually supposed to be his true magic, by the way, it will of course it would be really fast. The ice would freeze up. Like the ice would be really fast. It's part light magic, so of course it would be really fast. With that, Asta has not done that. He can't do that yet, so he's just using his ice katana that he replicated off of Yami. Doing so, Yami, of course, well, not Yami. Of course, he copied the sword from Yami and stuff, and he's been training with it. He's holding a little bit a little bit of himself. Like he's doing pretty decent against Licht, but jumping in there as well, helping Asta it would kind of a little bit overwhelm Licht, of course, but overall, Licht would just destroy the two. Licht is super strong. He's hella old for one, and two, his magic is just really strong. Asta can't use his ice magic, which is probably his strongest point right now. Besides now his newfound light magic, he just got out of nowhere. So Asta would basically be like a white strike, like a white streak. He basically be like a white streak. Same with Lick. So and it's more like a green, right? Because of his green wind magic wing he has. So with that, Asta of course would get beat eventually by Lick outplaying Asta, of course, because Lick's faster for one. He's been using light magic and has better control over it. His sword play is obviously way much better. Lick's swords are just fucking broken. So yeah, Asta, he got beat fairly badly. He is pretty injured and almost exhausted. Almost though, he's kind of tired now. Is exhausted while Licht is untouched. I mean, the Licht has a couple cuts here and there from Asta and stuff, but yeah. So hold up. So afterwards, Asta. The fight would end and all that. As the base would start moving, I'm pretty sure it moves to Clover Kingdom, actually. So the base would basically start moving as everybody would be almost off of it. The next thing would happen. Basically, they're all heading back, right? Nozel is taking them back with his Mercury magic as they're flying over Hodge Village. Flying over Hodge Village, they're heading over to Clover, by the way. They're heading to Clover, the capital, Clover, doing so because that's where the base is heading. Going over Hodge Village, they notice something. Asta does, at least. His key is basically telling him that there's people in distress, and he gets sent an elf down there. As Asta doesn't say a thing and just uses his newfound light magic and just zooms down there with like in a blink of an eye. Doing so, he would land on the elf, and just knock the elf out instantly, kicking it into the ground. As they would then, would then land. He goes, "Dang!" He goes, "I don't even think you need my help." Asta goes, "I'm sick and tired of these damn elves." As they would finally realize that who's behind them, they would see Sister Lily, all the kids, and the father. As they're like, oh my gosh. As they're like, they look at them as Asta just waves and just says hi and hugs all of them and stuff like that, and tells them that the Clover Kingdom capital is under attack by these elves. They're reincarnated and tells them about the whole group, the Midnight Sun, and they have to go over there before more disaster happens, before they destroy all of us, all the humans, because that's like the ultimate goal for Patry right now. Patry wants to kill all of them because the humans killed all the elves. So it's gonna be they're trying to get it, right? So doing so, Asta basically Sister Lily and them basically say like, all right, be careful, make sure you come visit us again. Because Asta basically just basically gives them all hugs and just kisses all the foreheads of all the children, telling them that they'll be good and make sure that you don't give them too much. Don't give Sister Lily and Father too much trouble. As basically they listen, of course, and they're really happy to see and Asta. So yeah. Doing so, Asta goes, "Well, we should hurry up. I'll go up ahead since I'm faster now." Alright, as just nods his head and says, "I'll meet you there then." So doing so, Asta would activate using his light. He would enhance his body with light magic, getting really, really fast again, disappearing from everybody's eyes and stuff. So with that, Asta is actually already at Clover, by the way. So yeah. Hold up. So next fight, of course, during the time of Asta heading back to Clover, of course, he would already got there as he would have ran to a place where he would ran to somebody that was seemed like can help. He sensed Vanessa and Magna fighting another elf as it looked like they needed some help. They sensed like they needed. He sensed it seemed like he needed help from the key sensing. So he headed over there and he just appeared there, right, with his light magic. As with Asta, of course, he would then see Luck as he goes, Luck. Because wait, he's an elf, so it must be someone else. As of course, Asta, Luck is like, well, the elf within Luck's like, oh, another opponent. He likes fighting as well. I know, right? Who knew? So with that, Asta, of course, as well, the fight would start. Basically, the fight would start and all that. As the fight would happen again, as Vanessa would basically like, all right, I'll help you, Asta, and Magnus basically be the same thing. Asta goes, don't worry, I don't need no help. I recently got another magic type during the last couple of fights, so I'm just getting hang of it. But it should be fairly good. As then he would disappear from the sights as the elf, the luck elf, I think it's Lufalu or something like that. That's what I read. So yeah. So basically he goes, oh, where the hell did he go? Because it's almost like he's using light magic like Patry or Link. What? Wow. How does this human have light magic? As Asta, of course, would appear again as Luck, of course, would dodge and stuff like that, as they would have kept on chasing after each other, as finally Luck would try to, hit Asta, but missing, as Luck is sideways in the air, as Asta would appear behind him and slamming his right elbow into Luck's cheek, slamming it into the ground. He enhanced it with his mana, of course, especially he enhanced his arm with ice mana, as the ice mana froze him over when he exactly hit him, as he would hit the ground and he would be out cold. Hold up. So the next fight, basically afterwards, they would all meet up. The Henry would finally come. Henry would come with Gauche. No, Gauche was an elf in this one. He turned into an elf along with Marie and stuff like that. So the fight, of course, would happen with Wait, does it Gauche turn into an elf yet? I think they wait until I don't know. I don't remember. So basically, all the Black Wolves, Henry would finally come back, come with the Black Wolves hideout and stuff. Austin goes, really? He says as basically 3 more elves would appear, right? Yeah, 3 more elves would appear, and Austin would basically be waiting in the base until he is needed and stuff like that, right? Because he is relaxing because he did just fight for about he's been fighting for a while now. So Asta, of course, is just yeah. So yeah, with that Asta, the whole fight would happen basically the same, right? As this time, Asta, besides being an Asta cannon, they literally shot Asta out of a cannon, in the actual story. So it's yeah. Asta would just use his light magic again to get in front of the 3 elves, finishing them off. Don't really remember much from the fight. That's why I'm getting the fight over with quick. So yeah, give me a second. So yeah, basically the next couple fights would happen with Yami beating the attendants and stuff like that of crap other stuff. Yami just being Yami. Next couple fights would happen. Noelle would still get her whole outfit thing and her whole family seeing her that she's actually a really good mage. With that, Asta, we go with Asta and stuff. Asta is now fighting Gauche when he's an elf now, and yeah, so with the fight with Gauche, basically it's not canon. Definitely not the same as canon. Also with light magic, you can't really fight someone with light magic either if you're as strong as them or as fast as them. See, the only reason, like even Julius is faster at light magic because he can move faster than time, bro. Like, come on, like you not notice that? Like, duh. So basically, with light magic, Gauche cannot actually like keep with Asta's speed. Neither can Marie doesn't do anything because Marie's just Marie, and she's turned into an elf. So yeah, holy shit. So yeah, Asta is. Like Asta, since like no, Asta's not gonna be a reincarnation of an elf. I would have already done that, but he is like half angel now. So yeah, just a random angel that had light magic and stuff like that. So yeah, it should make him so much more powerful, but it just since the light magic is new to Asta, it comes natural to him, of course, but since it's relatively new, it's literally he just got light magic because of his little upgrade. The only thing that's really just happening to him right now is that he just got a shit ton faster. I mean, a shit ton faster since he has light magic now. His ice, of course, is really, really powerful. It's even more powerful now since he has a little boost and power of being unlocked, finally able to use his angel abilities.
TJ?
What?
I think Shasta needs a walk.
So yeah, Asta was fighting Gauche. My grandma wanted me to walk the dog, so yeah, I did that. So yeah, Asta was fighting Gauche and not really Marie. She's still a kid, but yeah, Gauche got clapped because just because he has a little bit more spells and has a little bit more mana doesn't mean he's better than Asta. Asta with his light speed, man, it's absolutely amazing to say. As Asta would basically, he will be Gauche fairly easily, really, really easily actually. So yeah. With that, the Gauche is now dead. Well, not dead. He out cold. I didn't think he gets out cold because then the whole tree and life and stuff like that, and the shadow night thingy happens. So yeah, all of the fights go the same because I'm only covering Asta whenever he's in a fight. I want to cover everybody else because it just gets way too annoying to say. So the next thing that would happen with Asta, of course, the shadow castle would like appear, right, and then they would have to go inside. Them going inside, of course, they would have to. They of course going inside with all that. They would go in there with and Asta go in there together. I don't know. I'm not 100% certain what happened before all this and stuff like that. I know that they finally got all the magic crystals and all the elves were in the right spot, the magic stones, and they finally were able to get the shadow place unlocked. That's all I remember. Bro, whoever the fuck's outside is annoying. So yeah, I gotta speak up louder because some people so dumb. It's really hot in my room and stuff, so I have my window open. Yeah, it's just gonna get even hotter in my room if I don't have it open. So with Asta, he of course is he's like, yeah, okay, cool. We're inside of a castle that's made out of shadows, and I'm pretty sure this place is like a devil area. He thinks he's like, this place reminds me of a lot of devils for some reason. So with Asta doing that, Asta would finally, Asta, would actually catch Patry along with Who else was it? Fuck. Along with another elf, I forgot her name. So yeah. I think it was a girl. I don't remember, but they found Patry. But this time, Zeldris or Zagris, I think it's Zagris or something like that. It's another devil that has been manipulating Patry this whole time. At this point, Patry has actually learned the truth. He's learned the truth of what's really happened, and well, yeah. So, with learning the truth of what actually happened was, well, Zagreus actually manipulated the humans to go do what they did to the elves. Patry thought that Licht sent him back, sent him, sent him to get reincarnated again so he can get vengeance on the humans, but no, it was just Zagreus trying to get into a grimoire. So, yeah, trying to get a 4-leaf grimoire, really. So with Asta and that, basically Asta heard the whole thing. As Asta goes, I fucking knew it. I knew they're getting manipulated somehow. As Patry has actually gone into despair. Patry is actually turned into a dark elf, which happens when a elf goes into despair and they become what is called the demon god, which what the Wizard King first killed, and the Wizard King first killed was the demon god, which actually was Lick when he went into despair at seeing his wife and all his friends dead. So yeah. With Asta and that, he would try to get to Zagreus, but Zagreus would actually just disappear. Use his word magic to get out of there, right? His word magic. So with that, then they would have to fight Patry. Patry as a dark elf. Roselle would actually show up as well, actually helping them out and all that. With Patry having dark light magic now, because well he went into despair. It turned his magic dark and stuff like that. So with Asta, he's really the only one that can really keep up with Patry right now. Nozel can of course defend, and he's pretty fast, but he has to go into his. He won't get close to Asta's speed and Patry's yet. He can't even get close to it as he is in his spirit form thingy where he gets into. Asta, of course, was forced to go use his he didn't know how to use it. It just activated when he's like having trouble. Is use his angel power, his angel form. So he's a human, but he's not a full angel. So he has like a form that he could transform into, along with you know how Charmy's like half human, half dwarf. So yeah. Oh shit! Finally. So she turned into when she fought the paint dude when he was an elf. She like got pushed to the point where she transformed, I think, into a human or into something where she grew taller and became a hell of a badass, and then beat the fuck out of him with a wolf instead of a sheep. So yeah, a wolf in sheep's clothing, right? Mm-hmm. So with Asta, he was transformed into his angel form, as he has a half halo and a white wing on his back. Not just a white wing made out of mono, not an actual feathery wing. It's like Yuno's wing, really, just white instead. As he would then push harder to fight Patry. At this point, he would start yelling at Patry, saying that if you want to make up for what you did, get out of despair and then start undoing what you started. As basically that would actually get Patry to come from out of despair, and well, that would kind of ruin Zagred's plans. He needed the 4-leaf grimoire of Patry. So yeah. Hold up. So give me a second. Alright, this is gonna be like the last part of the series. I just realized because I'm at the very end, and I'm not going into the whole Dark Triad stuff until all of it comes out and people are actually caught up with it. And I read manga, so yeah. Um, so yeah, basically, at this point, Nero is actually finally come out, and she's not the bird anymore. As the first Wizard King is half somehow alive with the magic stones within him. With that, he would of course finally show up with Licht is now fully restored as well. He is finally unsealed because the first Wizard King was unsealed as well. He is fully unsealed as. Oh fuck! My phone fell over. So yeah. Brass, where'd it go? So with Asta and Asta, the Wizard King would show up. The first Wizard King would show up as well, as long as Asta he just stopped. He just stops and has a blank face. He points up. He goes, "Is that the first Wizard King?" As then this girl in black hair with two little horns goes, "Yeah, it is." As basically the first Wizard King just looks at Asta and goes, "You're from the Frost family, right?" Asta goes, "Yeah, I am." He goes, "It's good to see there's still some family that are still alive." As Asta goes, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, the Frost family is a descendant of the Clover family as well." As Asta goes, "Oh, so I'm related to you at some point?" He goes, "I think so, but yeah." As he goes, as Lick is there as well, as basically Lick and the first Wizard King are like best friends and shit. So they bump fists like, "What's good, bro?" So basically afterwards, Lick actually looks at Austin and goes, "You're something greater than I am. They're greater than my race, aren't you?" So Austin goes, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I can sense it. And plus, when I remember fighting you and that other one, you had this weird little circle thing on your head and you had a white wing. Are you an angel?" As Asta goes, "There's angels?" As Lick goes, "Yeah, there is. There's dwarfs, angels, devils. Devils, yeah." Asta goes, I have no idea. All I know is that my mom was a royal and all that. I have no idea who my father is." As he goes, "Yeah, He goes, basically, they're basically, this is on the way they're heading over to where Zagred's at. So yeah, they're basically, Lick's basically telling him, goes, "You have light magic as well, don't you?" Asta goes, "I do." He goes, "What do you think? How do you think you've been moving so fast? You caught up to my speed, and I have light magic as well. Light magic is the fastest magic. Well, besides time magic, of course." Asta goes, as he finally gets his grimoire out and actually starts looking through it, as he goes, It's all light magic now. Everything's light magic. All my spells are." He goes, "What happened to my ice magic?" He goes, as the first Wizard King's like, Basically, he's thinking, he goes, "You had ice magic before this, right?" He goes, "Mm-hmm." He goes, your magic should be light ice magic now." Asta goes, "Really?" As he goes, "Try it." He goes, as this point, it's finally fully merged. Both his magics finally merged together, becoming light ice magic. I said it was going to be later, and it was later, so yeah. Asta, of course, would make a katana as the ice looks totally different. It looks like there's these little tiny lights within the ice, and the ice looks white. As Asta goes, "It's like snow. It's crazy." He goes, "Well, you really think I am part angel or something?" He goes, "Mm-hmm." As well, enough with figuring out why you're an angel and all, part angel and all, but we have to finish this devil before the whole world gets, clapped. As Asta goes, "Yeah." As just like, "Bro, when the fuck can I get a break? Like, I'm not a noble. I'm just fucking. I'm not no angel, bro. What the fuck?" As Asta's just looks really surprised. He's like really like kind of surprised. But then they finally meet Zagred. Zagred's like, "Yo, what's poppin'?" No, so Zagred's like, "You can't defeat me. You aren't gonna become." As he became like fully embodied now. He is fully embodied in all sorts. He, of course, has word magic. Whenever he says a word, it comes true. To say, he can't be like, "Oh, you die of heart attack now." No, it's just like He could be like, "All right, millions of swords fall upon your head" or something like that, and then that would happen. with that, they would all start fighting, all fighting them at the same time. Yami, of course, was fighting the Blue Rose captain when she was an elf. So he's basically underneath the shadow. He's inside of the shadow castle, of course, but he's stuck with her and stuff. So yeah. So with that, basically the fight kept on going. They kept on slashing here, there, going through all of Zagred's spells, trying to get to him. As down back then, Yami, of course, he goes, "Oh, I can finally sense them." And it's like they need some help, as he would stand up and then put his sword above his head, going lightly, dimension slash. Doing so, it would cut through the shadow, all the shadow rooms, and cut straight into Zagred. That would stun Zagred enough time for get a good hit in, and Licht, and also the first Wizard King, with Asta being last because, well, it just happened to be like that. Asta would actually, he would have found a spell that was absolutely perfect, a spell that works perfectly with his katana as well, as the spell only works with a sword, as Asta would put his hands above his head, the same exact way as Yami would do his dimension slam, but just put a sword above his head with his one arm, as he would then slash down, as a straight line, just this very, very thin line of looks like to be ice, would zoom to pass everybody into Zagred. Doing so, it would then Zagred says, "That little thing tickled me." Asta just goes, "Well," he goes, "That's not all of what it does." As doing so, he would, the little ice that was inside the little ice stream that went in the middle of Zagred's body, then, then it, of course, then it just a huge explosion happened within Zagred, splitting him apart, killing him, as that is the end of Zagred. Asta, as basically goes, "What the hell was that?" As Asta goes, "It said something, I don't know, it was like, it said, light ice magic. I don't know, it doesn't have a name, actually, that's weird. I just found it, and I read the description, it was perfect. Okay, I just used it, calm down." It's basically like, Licht, and all the elf, after that, all that would end, they would finally everybody meet up as the shadow castle would basically be, closed and all that. With all that and stuff, basically the first Wizard King would finally crumble away, getting the last moments with Nero, or which they call Nero, because Nero was the one hanging around the base all the time, so they named the bird Nero, which happens to be so yeah, with that and stuff, Asta, of course, they're basically saying goodbye to them and stuff like that, as Patry was taken out of William's body as well, so with that, then basically they're all leaving, all the elves were basically getting put back where they were and stuff, and then the corpse mage that survived using his soul pole shit that he unlocked when Patry sacrificed him, he got all pissed. He was like, "Nah, you don't get to go anywhere." As he pulled Patry back down into someone else, just a random ass body. Patry just came back in a full body to say, "You're not killing anybody right now." So yeah. So yeah, Asta, he would, he's like, "Okay." As basically, he would then talk to Patry. He goes, "What will you be doing now?" As Patry goes, "Well, we need to find a place for us, for me and the other elves. We'll find that, and I'll undo what I've done before, and find a way to get rid of my basically sins," as he's As Asta goes, well, I look forward to seeing you again, Patry. And maybe we can have a fight that doesn't go towards the death. I mean, it'll be pretty fun. As Patry basically, smile and stuff and be like, yeah, sure. So with that, everybody would have been like y'all safe and stuff like that. As Noelle basically trying to like show off her new like she basically walked out of the office and goes, hey, guess what? I got a new I got a new um spell. Austin goes, really? What is it? He goes, Valkyrie armor. As Austin goes, well, what's that? He goes, it's my armor. It's armor. I can use any monitor that's in front of me and manipulate it. As Austin goes, well, that's pretty cool. He goes, I got a couple new spells as well. Well, I got all my spells were new. He goes, what? What do you mean? He goes, well, I found out that I'm half angel actually, so it's kind of weird, but it does work out. I have light magic now as well. She goes, what? That's hella unfair. He goes, how's that unfair? I didn't even know I was. I literally just found out. She goes, this is stupid. I'm done being your friend. I was also go, wow. I see. Okay, this is fucking stupid. You're stupid. It's basically just kept on going back and forth and stuff. As basically the whole thing happened as a certain person named Mimosa. She was of course was very like scared for everybody and all that. As then she would finally see Asta, boom, run towards Asta and hug him and stuff like that, and then kiss him on the cheek. As Asta goes, what just happened? She goes, yeah, me too. As basically Asta goes, maybe we could talk about that another time. I mean, if you're down and stuff, but yeah. That's basically, this is going to be the end of the story, the end of this whole series so far. Not the this is the end of the story. No, this is the end of the series until the more episodes come out for manga, maybe manga or even anime, so I could continue on with this series. It's basically on hold for now until more Black Clover comes out. So yeah, I hope you have a good day and well.